Hello there, and Merry Christmas to you all. I hope that everyone is getting geared up for a very happy holiday this year, where you're going to be able to be with your friends and family, and maybe even get a present or two. But that's not the point. Birthdays are for getting presents. Christmas is for giving them. But nevertheless, and I do hope you have your sugar plums ready for my dissertation of the history of the sugar plum, which will come later. But
Mm.
nevertheless, I do want to go around here real quick in the beginning before we get started. And of course, not only say hello, but also to see what their Christmas wish is. And I certainly hope I don't get any bah humbugs. Hello, Andrew.
Hello.
How are you?
I am doing quite well. How
It's
are you,
been,
Chester?
I'm doing well. It's been a while.
Yeah, a little bit here and there.
Well, that's good. I'm assuming you've been busy with stuff. But of course, the
Oh,
question.
yes. Working two jobs is quite busy.
Oh, two jobs. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Just own your own business. You'd be better off. Nevertheless, do you have any Christmas wishes? Maybe less jobs?
Christmas. Yeah, I mean that would be sick if I could work a little bit less, but I actually like the job at the warehouse, so that's actually kind of a bonus.
Oh, that is
Um
bonus. If you like your
as
job,
far
it's kind of,
yeah, yeah.
important
So
even.
as far as Christmas wishes,
Hmm.
oh, I haven't even started thinking about that. I bought my family a whole bunch of cool stuff that I think is cool.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I'm just hoping that they like everything that I got them.
Well, that's nice. Do you have a significant other or potential maybe significant other?
No, not yet. Not
Not
yet.
yet. Not even a twinkling or a maybe.
No. No, not really. It's kind of it's you might find it hard to believe, but it's kind of hard to pick up chicks when you work behind your computer all day long.
Maybe you should go out more.
Yeah, no. I have a
You
book
don't
to be
have any
made,
of them
man.
internet
You don't
chicks?
you don't get to over 800 pages by not working, Chester. You
No, that
gotta you
is
gotta
true.
put the grind in.
No, that is true. I
Don't
understand
worry, man.
grind, dude. I understand that completely. I also on the internet tells me that going out and trying to interact with the ladies in public is not going so well.
No,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
worth
kind
it,
of
Chester.
yeah.
Yes.
Last year, last Christmas, I gave her my heart, and the very next day, she gave it away.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
no.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I've heard that happens. You do know that song's about a guy, right?
Wham! It hit
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. I always get
Uh,
a kick out of it because girls love that song and they don't understand it. He's singing about a guy. Right? It was from a real life incident that happened to George. And of course, we know George is radically gay. But
That
don't tell
explains
the
why my
girls
butt
that.
hurts.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. Well, hopefully you'll have yourself a Merry Christmas there. And it's always
oh,
interesting.
I sure will.
You know how when you're watching like you think is an American film and it's got all this American stuff in it, and then at the end, some twat says Happy Christmas and you know it's a foreigner?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Merry happy.
Yeah, no, happy's wrong. It's just wrong.
Happy Boxing Day!
Yeah, yeah. Go tell every British person you know it's not happy, it's merry, without question. And I know Gabby knows that's the truth. Hey, Gabby, Merry Christmas. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I just updated my phone, so I actually don't know the controls on how to adjust my sound anymore.
It
Merry
sounds
Christmas, Chester.
it sounds good. You sound fine. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. And I can help on this end a little bit with those kind of things too. Yeah. Now, are you in a place that gets snow?
Yeah, I
Oh,
live in North Dakota.
oh,
Yeah.
sweet. I haven't seen snow in decades.
Yeah, we got a big snowstorm today.
Nice. Yeah, I heard there was big
Shoveling
snow coming.
all morning.
Nice. So you're going to have yourselves a white Christmas. That's good. That's good. But I mean,
Yep,
North
yep.
Dakota like always has a white Christmas, doesn't it?
We've had a few Christmases, we call them brown Christmases, where there's no snow.
That's just that's just sad.
It is
Anyway,
sad because it's dry in the spring then, and that's not good.
oh, I see. There's consequences. Do you have any Christmas wishes?
I would like to get an appropriate amount of sleep. That
Wow,
would
Mm.
be really nice.
that's asking a lot.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I don't even know what an appropriate amount is. It's been a long, long time that I can sleep actually 8 hours and not be sore as hell.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, most everybody's a little bit different. Some people actually do better with 6 hours or 7 hours.
Yeah, sure, sure. But it would be nice to be able to sleep in sometimes. It would be
Oh yeah,
nice. But I can't because of course I do sleep on a floor. You know.
on a
Yes.
futon.
I'm in Japan, actual futons, not the fake bed ones they call futons in the West. Actual, just like thin, thin prison level mattresses on the floor. That's Japan,
Mhm.
baby. And I've been doing
I
that
did
for
it myself. Yeah.
30
When I
years.
went, I had to give it a try, and I did.
Yeah, and what'd you think?
It was like sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, it was. It is. You know what? I went and did something radical though, because I've been on a futon for 30 years. I'm not joking, right? I went and did something radical last week. I said, screw it. And I went and spent a lot of money and I bought a bed.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
My wife is now all concerned about falling off and falling on the floor. I said, how many hotels you been to? It's funny. But it was kind of cute because we went and talked to we had, of course, a helper to help us get all the information we needed for our bed. And it was this, lady, she's 40s, I'd say. And she was very nice. And of course, she sheepishly asked the question, do you sleep together? And I said, Mochino, of course we do. The hell kind of questions like that. I think she's used to. Japanese don't often do that. They usually sleep in separate beds. I know it's weird. It's Mary Tyler Moore. Well, Dick Van Dyke, really. Nevertheless, glad to hear your voice, Gabby. Hi, Eric.
Well, hello, Chester.
I have to compliment you on your today's thumbnail. Really good one. That was a good one, dude.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
thanks. It took like 10 minutes, but
S-
thank you.
Still, it looks good. I mean, you always do some really nice thumbnails, and I appreciate that. I really do. But I just like that one today for some reason. And I was talking with these guys earlier because before I came on, I was watching my favorite bookbinder bind a copy of Christmas Carol, old one, not an original. That
Ooh,
would be extremely valuable. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I like bookbinding. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Do you have any
Merry Christmas.
like Christmas wishes?
Well, if I had one wish that I could wish this holiday season, it would be that all the children to join hands and sing together in the spirit of harmony and peace.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to throw something after you said world peace, but you kind of dodged it. I'm going to go for it.
No, no, no. That's from the Steve Martin Saturday Night Live skit when he's
Yeah.
making his wish. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
See,
Oh,
the second wish would be for $30 million a day in a Swiss bank account.
a day. Gee, what kind of
A day might be
expenses
a
you
week.
got?
Ah,
Shit, I'd be
yeah,
happy
yeah.
just to
And,
have
and if I
30
had
million.
three wishes, it'd be the children and shit and the
Yeah,
money.
yeah,
But then I would
yeah.
want encompassing power over every living being in the entire universe.
Oh, all right. I should rule the universe. That's
Yeah,
the way to go.
yeah.
That's the way to go. Yeah, I agree. I support that message. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. How about
Alan,
you? Do you have a Christmas wish?
I have a Christmas wish? Snow.
Okay. Can't help you there.
Yeah.
Then you have to shovel.
No, I don't care. It was my first
Or
job
drive in
ever.
it.
I was
Ugh.
an elementary school kid making money shoveling driveways, man. I'm
Oh,
happy to shovel.
bruv. I've been here in New England for all my life. I would love to move to a state where there are no seasons. It's just hot all the
Oh,
time.
go to
Get me
Hawaii.
away from snow. Get
Yeah.
me away from snow. I hate it.
I love snow. I've always loved it.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
but um, but yeah, no, you're right. I've been sans snow for about 3 decades, so yeah, I get it. Yeah, a little bit longer, really. But the last time I really saw snow, I mean, there's occasional I'll be driving somewhere and I see some snow-capped mountains, right? But the
Mm.
last time I saw snow, I was in New York, and I was at Rockefeller Center, and it was snowing.
Nice.
Interesting little thing about that, though, Andrew. Ironically, that same night that I was walking around Rockefeller Center with another girl. by the way. My wife, who I had yet to meet in the universe yet, was walking around the same place at the same time.
How about that?
Isn't that interesting? Small world.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
So what you're saying is I need to go to Rockefeller Center
yeah.
when it's snowing.
That's right. Kismet.
And-
Kismet is in the air. Of all places, Rockefeller Center. Jeez. Alan, hi. How you doing?
Konnichiwa, or
Uh,
konbanwa, or Ohio.
Ohayou gozaimasu would be good morning. Konnichiwa would be standard, and konbanwa would be good evening. But honestly, the
So Ohio to
Japanese,
you, right? It's morning.
yeah, but to be fair, the Japanese kind of just say konnichiwa like all the time. They
All right,
hardly ever bother
konnichiwa.
with the others. Yeah. But nevertheless, thank you.
Winter
Merry.
gift man.
What do you say?
Winter gift. What do they call Santa? Winter gift man or something weird like that.
No, they say Santa-san.
Okay,
Yeah,
Santa.
they say Santa. Yeah. It's actually picked up over the past 30 years or so here. The older generation, of course, had no Christmas whatsoever. But my age or a little or older. But the younger ones kind of grown up with it. It's become a thing. It's a kids get a single present, which is left by their head. I don't know how this happened. And they eat Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Heck yeah, they
Kudos on
do.
capitalism. They eat strawberry fruit cake, and not fruit cake, but just a cake, like a sponge cake with strawberries on it. I don't know
Like a
how.
strawberry shortcake.
No, shortcake needs scones, right, or biscuits.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, just whipped cream on top of a sponge cake covered with
No,
strawberries.
that's not strawberry shortcake. God, get your history right,
That's
you
my nickname in
people.
prison.
Aw. But anyway. And of course, it's become quite a dating day. A lot of
Yeah.
a lot of young people go dating, which is good. That's kind of nice. But yeah. So, Alan, any Christmas wishes?
Actually, for all these higher ups to get that Grinch shit out of their hearts,
Hmm.
to become a little less selfish and think
Uh-huh.
about their fellow man,
Wow.
and to get on the train. That and 20 chicks in tight shorts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm
Wish
kind of
is
leaning toward the
granted. That's
second.
what I'm going to draw.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 20 chicks in hot shorts, hot pants. Yeah, you're asking a lot. Politicians only care about
Yeah,
themselves.
it's a Christmas miracle.
It would be.
But you know, we kind of got it. I kind of got it because I was praying that stupid bill wouldn't go by yesterday, and it didn't. And everything
Very
is
good. Yeah.
coming up Millhouse.
It is. Everything is coming up, Millhouse. And I do love the fact that, we've been seeing here for what has been a month and a half since he won the election. Of course, he's not
Mhm.
president yet, right?
No.
But hell,
Yeah.
he isn't. I mean, this guy, Trump, just the hint of things are causing governments to crumble. The sheer power of Trump, it's wow, dude. It's
Well,
interesting.
That
not only that, but now the news media is saying all of these things are happening now, and it's Trump's fault, and everybody's just like, but Kamala is still in office. Like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
Yeah, well,
that
yeah, there and where are they though? But yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be a good
no
Christmas
kidding.
miracle, though. I agree. I agree. Doug says it's barely snows now nowadays in New York. Well, to be fair, I mean, we didn't get a white Christmas every year. We didn't. Not even up in Rhode Island or in Boston did you get a white Christmas every year.
Right.
No, it's not every year. I would say more often than not, but he says it's not snowing much in New York at all right now. Well, weather patterns change. We got La Nina coming in, and that's going to be weird. I think expect snow is what I'm saying. Doug, you
the
got snow
economy's so
coming.
bad, they're not even getting slow in Florida, and especially Miami.
Aw.
Mm.
Oh, we never get snow.
Yeah, no, that
Well,
Amy, don't respond to Alan. It's
It only snows in the bathrooms. Am I right, boys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hoop, ho, 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 ho. Hey, hey. Okay. Moving on. Amron,
Sorry.
hi. I know it's summer for
Hello.
you, so it's not really Christmas, but
it's
Yeah,
Christmas.
it's a fake Christmas.
it's a fake Christmas.
Summertime
Yeah.
Christmas.
Does it ever
Summertime.
snow in Australia?
Santa's falling. Right, go ahead.
Only in some places, like
Mm.
the coldest months of winter, like down south in Melbourne area. Yeah,
Oh, they do get some snow. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I have a question for you. It's a planetary question, calculus, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, our planet is sitting at what is it, a 32-degree tilt, right? I think it is, or is it
Oh, it's
23?
flat.
Oh, it's flat. That's right.
Yeah.
But we're sitting at this tilt, right? But the planet itself is still the same distance from the sun as it, would be, right? In our elliptical journey. So why is it winter in the north with that slight lean, but yet summer in the south with that slight lean, even though we're exactly the same distance from the sun?
Well, you think about like in space, like it's like
Yeah.
extremely hot in the sun, like in sunlight, but in the dark,
That's not actually true,
it's
but
like
okay.
similar to that. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's like the sun is
Yeah.
more to the north in winter, and the sun is more to the south in summer.
Yeah, but I think you
Yeah.
missed the point of my question.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. That's
Don't worry,
okay.
I did too.
Yeah, that's all right. I was just Eric knows what I was on about.
I don't
Uh,
know how a disc floating in space is at any kind of degree angle, so I don't know
I
what the
know.
hell you're
I
talking about.
know. It's really
Well,
weird.
the giant turtle's holding it up, Eric.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
okay.
That's right.
The turtle kind of
Uh,
leaned back a bit. Okay, okay.
anyway, Amran.
The program.
So do
And
you
the
have
4
any?
elephants underneath the turtle,
That's
the
true.
pillars.
The
You need
turtle's got a
those.
Stay with
sciatic problem.
He does, and that poor turtle. But then, of course, you also have to deal with Pennywise, and that's not good.
Yeah.
Amran, Christmas wishes.
Nah, nothing really.
Okay.
Just another year's finishing up.
Do you have a Yule log?
What is that?
It's a journal about Christmas.
That Eric, that was a very soft pitch to the outside. It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
was.
yeah.
It really was. I don't know what to
Yeah,
tell you. Yeah.
yeah,
Yule
I was
Yule
keeping
log.
quiet.
Yeah, yeah. Yule log is, of course, Scandinavian. Well, Yule. Most of Christmas is Scandinavian German holiday, right? But a log these days is one of those little fake wood burning logs you buy at the store that's wrapped in Christmas paper.
Well, because we don't have like a classic winter, like an extremely cold winter, we don't have any need for that. We don't have furnaces in our basements.
Oh, that's fair.
Right.
We don't
Yeah.
need that because it's not cold,
Well, you could just
extremely
start a
cold. We
fire
don't have
outside.
subarctic temperatures in
Yeah,
this country.
that's true.
We're in a
Well, we do.
tropical
We do.
region, so
Yeah. So no Yule logs.
no such thing. No, it's not a
I
thing
see.
here.
All right.
I can't believe Alan didn't take a stab at the Yule log.
Yeah, I
I
know.
was a little
Do you
disappointed there.
have,
A little bit.
do you
Yeah.
have like barbecue? Barbecues or any kind of outdoor
Oh
festivities?
yeah,
Like
yeah. Barbecues are a thing. Like people have
Say it.
barbecues.
Say it. Come on, say
That's
it.
pretty cool.
What? Say what?
nice.
Shrimp on the barbie. Shrimp on the barbie.
Oh yeah, shrimp.
No one says,
Grandpa
no one
got
says
run
that.
over by a reindeer coming back
No one
from our
says that.
home.
No one says
Christmas
that. Like
Eve.
no one drinks Fosters.
No.
Yeah.
No one drinks Fosters.
And
It's
So
that's an urban myth.
I'd imagine
It's an
because
urban
shrimp
myth.
on the
Yeah.
Barbie. I mean, how long do you put the shrimp on the Barbie? I mean, what?
10
No, I don't know.
seconds.
10 seconds? I mean, what would be the point? You know.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, a helpful
We call 'em
holiday
prawns.
cooking hint. When you're cooking shrimp, of course, deshell it. Well, unless you really, it depends what you're doing. But anyway, turn it over on its back so we got the hump up toward you, and cut that sucker right in half. Yep, trust me. Trust me. Cut,
Butterfly?
cut it. Yes, butterfly. Cut it lengthways open. You will thank me. You will thank me.
Clean that
We
poop
don't
out of
call
it.
them shrimp
Well,
either.
it's not even that. It
Another
changes the
thing.
texture of shrimp radically and it makes it good. And you'll wonder why your shrimp never tasted like the professional chef shrimp. Now I gave you life. I gave you life.
Holy
Ooh.
prawn, you guys call them prawns, don't you?
Prawns, yes, not shrimp. We don't really
Well, now
use.
that doesn't even make sense
Some
about shrimp
do.
on the Barbie.
Wait a
God
minute.
dang it.
Damn it!
Another prawn on the Barbie.
Somebody
Yeah.
lied to us.
On the
Have a
It was
look.
probably a British person that damn poofed us. All right. Thank you very much. I'm
Paul
wrong.
Hogan's to blame for that, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Paul
Okay. Fair
Hogan.
enough.
Oh,
Fair
yeah.
enough.
No.
Girls. Hi, girls.
Hi. How you doing?
I am doing very, very well. I'm happy. It's Christmas time, and therefore it's a Merry Christmas. Not don't say Happy Christmas. That's inappropriate. But
Happy
uh,
holidays. Merry Christmas.
that's right. That's right. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you both. Down there in sunny Florida, so you shan't be getting any snow other than Allen's snow. But nevertheless, do you have any Christmas
That's right,
wishes?
Chico.
That's right, Chico.
Christmas
I think he said tradition.
traditions. Oh, well, let's see. There's always the decorations. You know, that's kind of a big thing. We do a big mural on our. We have a glass patio porch, and we've been doing some kind of Christmas card illustration, basically, to the neighborhood. And so I just finishing that up, and then it's done with like a tissue paper. So if you put lights behind it, it glows. So when you come down the road, you just see this glowing a Christmas card the size of our house, the back of our house. It just kind of lights up the neighborhood. So, yeah, it's fun. So that's probably
We've been doing that for as
Oh,
nearly as
yeah.
long as we lived there.
so
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably the most unusual tradition I think that we have. But there's always the usual tree, presents, all the fun stuff, and lots of Christmas carols. Just so many Christmas carols.
Yeah, I love Christmas caroling, actually. I used to do it as a kid with the church. We just go around as a group and go door to door and do the caroling. It's actually a lot of fun. It's one of church is not a lot of fun. It's kind of boring when you're a kid, right? But the caroling thing, I liked the caroling. That was fun.
Really is neat. Now, is caroling in Japan at all? I know they're picking up some of the traditions.
They don't
No?
even know what that word means.
Really? Oh, you should introduce them, like the egg hunts, right? I bet they'd have a lot of fun.
I've tried to do various things, but for the Japanese, you have to understand, like they do karaoke. Other than this, there's not a lot of singing. But when you go to karaoke, if you go and you actually can sing, you'll never get a single clap. Everyone will look at you like a deer in the headlights. But if you sing horribly and awfully, they will clap to the end of days.
Really?
Yeah.
So the worse you do, the more they like it, or
Welcome to Japan, right? Yeah. Feliz
Okay.
Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad. Prospero ano y felicidad.
They año with the ñ because ano means anus.
Año. Oh, I'm sorry. I can read a thing. That doesn't mean I can speak a thing.
No, but I'm saying like if you say prospero ano and have a prosperous anus and
Felicidad. Yeah.
and felicity. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a good song.
Prosperous anus to all.
That is a good song. That's from what's that guy? Jose Feliciano, I think. Feliciano, yeah. It's a good song though, dude. That's a great Christmas song, man. Yeah. Very good. Anyway, was that your Christmas wishes, caroling for everybody? Was that what that was?
Ooh, that would be cool. That Japan would learn the way of caroling. That sounds like. Now, do you think that is it just that you don't expect to have people like out in the open, like having festivities? Which
Oh,
is
that
why
would
that
never. It would never work in Japan ever. Yeah, ever. No, no, no. One of the things the Japanese respect more than anything else is privacy. And I have no problem with this. I'm not against it.
Sure.
But they're very, I mean, to governmental level, they're very strict about it. And showing up to someone's door, knocking on it for them to come listen to you sing would be an absolute faux pas.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's hospitality like? What role does that have in Japan? I know in a lot of countries, I've heard like in the Middle East, it's really like hospitality is really huge. In the
Oh
South,
yeah. Oh yeah. No,
you
Middle
said.
East, they'll kill you on the road, but you come to their door, you're good. Yeah.
How is
But
that?
no, they hospitality is very serious amongst the Muslim cultures. Yes, there
Mhm.
are other places where hospitality is quite nice, like in the South. In America. The southern states have quite a bit of hospitality, but Japanese and hospitality, I'd say the extent of Japanese hospitality, technically there's a rule, a cultural, and it mightn't be legal. But there is a cultural rule in Japan that if you're a priest and you knock on someone's door, they're supposed to put you up for the night.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that
that's it.
is that a huh? So are there still, I guess a crazy thing to say, are there still priests that have to travel like that? Or is that from
They do pilgrimages here all the time. You see them walking all the time, doing that. But of course, I do it too, knowing that once I get past my training, I'm going to become one of the richest people in Japan. You know,
And
priests,
Malta.
dude, priests make bank, baby, here in
really?
Japan. Oh yeah, they make a lot of money. Tradition and culture, man, that demands right certain activities, and
Oh.
they make a lot of money. But yeah, no, there's that rule. But no, the Japanese aren't very hospitable.
Mm.
And I know that sounds bad, but
Yeah,
I mean,
the
because they're not
Southerners does.
cruel people, but they're also not nice people. They're,
Hmm.
I mean, they're not unkind per se. I don't know. Andrew, help me out. You know what I mean? It's
They're I mean, the way that you described it before, they are private is really just the best way to do it. Like they
yeah,
don't like outsiders,
no,
but when they meet an outsider, they're very excited to meet that outsider.
it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And as an outsider, you can get away with nearly murder.
So
Nearly.
if you're
They're getting away with it less nowadays though because it's
Yes,
getting really
less.
bad.
Well,
So,
it's the black hippity hoppers that are causing the trouble.
oh
honestly,
no.
I'm
it's
not even
kind of
joking. That wasn't a joke.
kind of crazy
Yeah.
how that is kind of becoming a thing as of late.
Yeah. No, even here in the countryside, they're talking about it, dude. And it pisses me off because it potentially could hurt me. It won't. I mean, they know me here, but if I'm in another
Right.
city where they don't know me, then
Mhm.
foreigners are getting a little bit of the side eye these days, right?
At least you can speak the language though.
I
That
can,
helps.
and
So
I
that
can.
that kind of breaks a barrier where you can speak directly to them.
It's true, and I just tell them to stop being stupid.
Here,
And
the
they
Sandy
understand.
City Browns are actually giving you a lot of problems down there too.
Yeah, no, they are. But they tried. The WEF was really pushing Japan to have more foreigners, and they kind of bent the knee a little bit. But it's backfiring very badly. So
Oh,
Yeah, and
well, really.
I hope it kind of shifts a little bit. I hope they
it
turn
is.
they're like let's not be as xenophobic, guys. I was like, no, be xenophobic. That's your
Yeah,
culture.
yeah, be
Just
xenophobic.
preserve your culture.
Yeah, yeah.
If people aren't going to respect it when they visit, then, maybe they should go someplace where they feel more at home.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it used to be the frustration of the Japanese used to be that, like, for instance, I'll give you an example of something I seen happen recently that really you wouldn't think it would piss the Japanese off so much, but it did. In Japanese culture, you have the Maiko. You would call it a geisha, but a geisha is more of an older
Oh.
Maiko. But so you got the geisha culture, the Maiko culture. And now
Mhm.
for foreign people, we think they're prostitutes. They are not. Don't
Mhm.
say that to a Japanese, you will make them angry. The Maiko is not a prostitute, not even close to it. But it's a highly respected thing in Japan, like say sumo, right? Many things. Japanese have great
Ah.
respect for their traditions, right?
Mhm.
And
Mm.
you'll have these foreigners, particularly there was a like this, white looked like British lady. That was in front of the Maiko taking pictures. The Maiko tried to move directions and she ran over to get picture again in front. And the Maiko kept trying to change because you're not supposed to photograph the Maiko.
Mhm.
Really?
No, it's considered disrespectful, like photographing a temple or a shrine, or a priest, especially a
Mm.
Shindo priest doing their thing. You're not supposed to photograph that stuff, right?
Mm.
And of course, this lady just keeps running in front of her, keeps running in front of her,
Oh.
because this Maiko is trying to respect her. She's trying to respect the tradition, and the white
Oh.
foreign lady doesn't know, and she keeps running in front, getting this picture. That was on the frickin' headline, top primetime news for a frickin' week.
Yeah, I
Oh
remember
my
that
God.
actually.
Yeah,
That,
unbelievable, dude. But so I mean, Japan is Japan, dude. But you every time you go somewhere, you should always respect the culture. You're a guest.
Yeah.
Be a guest.
Please.
I mean, I've
You
been
know,
here 20 years and I'm still a guest.
Be our guest.
Be our
Yeah.
guest. That's good.
I just kind of get bummed out that everybody automatically sees white person and they say American, and it's like, no, it's not Americans. It's
No.
usually the French. It's usually the
the
French.
French. It is usually the French. But yeah. Anyway, Merry Christmas. So I will. I don't have a kazoo, but I will. I will give us a sing in. How about that? You guys ready?
Sure.
You didn't bring out your saxophone? You're supposed to.
Yeah, I was just about to say, do the saxophone.
Oh no way, dude! The saxophone would blow the hell out of this freaking speaker, dude.
all right.
Let's see. What should I do? Oh, I know. Jingle bells. Batman laid an egg. Robin farted. I can't remember that song. Go.
You had the first
Perfect.
two, right? Oh. Hope you're feeling better, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Is
sir.
Jeff out? He was having surgery, right?
Right. Yeah.
I know
No,
what
he's
he wants
out.
for
He's
Christmas.
home resting. So.
Eggnog spiked.
Hmm?
Have you,
Eggnog's pretty good.
Amy? Have you ever had spiked eggnog? Or shall I
No.
translate that? Normal eggnog.
No. Sometimes we get like the not spiked eggnog. They have that, and I don't. Well, in Publix they introduced this thing called Southern custard, which is like a non-spicy version of eggnog. So it's even somehow milder than eggnog, but it's really nice.
Oh, is Eric? Is the naivete really real? Is it real? Real? Is it real? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
That sounds like a
Spiked
good idea. Get into the
eggnog,
spirit.
Amy, has alcohol in it, which is how eggnog has always been made. It's actually an alcoholic drink. These days, with Christians and other groups, they've unalcoholed it. And to be fair, that's all I ever drink. I never drink spiked eggnog at all. Because my wife can't drink. She's like allergic to alcohol, and I don't drink anyway. So I do love me some eggnog. And the funny thing is, I went to all that trouble to make sure I could find a really good recipe that didn't have alcohol in it. And my wife won't even drink it because she says, "Ew." Okay.
Just you? She didn't try any?
She tried it. She didn't like it at all. She rather hates eggnog. I'm the only one who drinks it. I try to give it to my kids. So this is great. It's Christmas tradition. And they were like, that no, you're stupid, Dad. All right, fine.
Oh no! Is it too spicy, or do they not like the texture?
They just don't like it. But then again, I don't know. And they just don't like eggnog, and that's fine. There's plenty of Japanese things I don't like pretty much anything that's washoku. I don't know. I hate it.
Any washoku?
Washoku. It's traditional Japanese food. Most of the food in Japan these days is not actual Japanese food. It's just their rendition of something, right?
Sure.
Foreign fare, and they do it pretty well. I mean, I love me some yakitori. I tell you, those Portuguese, because all the other Europeans that were come over here trying to dodge the Muslim taxes, right, that were coming through because the Silk Road was going through the Ottoman Empire, right? And they were taxing the Europeans heavily, and of course, the Austrians were happy because they were making killer money off everything, but the rest of the Europeans were kind of ticked because they were having to pay too much for their exotic goods, and they decided, well, we'll just go there ourselves, and that's what kind of prompted all the Europeans to take their boats over to Asia. Just so you know, that's why there was a reason it happened. But all the other ones there were trying to get. Of course, they get over there and they're doing their trade in. It's like, hey, let's take some land. These people are weak. Conquest.
Oh,
But the Portuguese didn't have that.
Colonizers.
Yeah, colonizers, right? And in some cases, it actually worked out well for the people. However, the Portuguese didn't have that kind of mindset, probably because at that point they were kind of weak. They got Brazil, though. Did you know the capital of Brazil was Rio de Janeiro for quite a while? Not Brazil, I mean Portugal. Yeah.
Oh.
The capital was
What?
actually in Brazil, not in Portugal itself. But nevertheless, I guess the Portuguese didn't have much working in that regard, so they just sent over priests. Yeah.
Huh.
And the priests were trying to do their thing, and they failed miserably. I've never seen a religious campaign fail. Well, no, I have. But boy, it didn't work here in Asia. However, one thing that the Portuguese did share, because they're not there to conquest, they're not really trading, was food.
Nice.
Yeah. And the
Now,
Portuguese fare has stuck here in Asia, and boy, did the Asians do a good job with it. For instance,
mhm,
everywhere in Asia, when they have bread, which was introduced by the Portuguese, keep this in mind, they're not bread people. Um,
right.
they call it pan or pain, which is the Portuguese word for bread, right? But things like the Portuguese kebabs, or what would we call yakitori or satay, all kind of things. It's really interesting how much of the Portuguese food stuck in Asia more so than the other cultures who had more power here, right? But the
Oh, sure.
Portuguese really, it's probably because they're priests, and most people look at it as a priest as a positive thing here in Asia, right?
Right. Well, that's interesting. So, did they have some respect for the priests that were there, even if it didn't work as they were hoping? I mean, do like their priests qualify for that hospitality to a priest, or is it not?
No, of course. No, the Asians have high respect for priests. They didn't really
Oh,
care
okay.
what they had to say, but just in general, it wasn't really in Japan. When the Tokugawa regime took over, they saw that the Christians were starting to take a foothold in Kyushu, so they made it illegal to be Christian, and they'd kill you. So they ended that. The Chinese had they were Christians doing their things, although the Chinese didn't care about their religion. But then, of course, Mao Zedong came in and ended any of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it just didn't really stick. The Asians weren't
Hmm.
interested. They had their own traditions. They had their own things. They took little pieces from it. Like I said, they took a lot of food from the Portuguese. They took some colorful ideas, like most of Japan, for instance, and their love of Christmas these days has nothing to do with anything other than American TV.
There are
You
some
know.
fun shows.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is, and it's interesting. Andrew, could you surmise which American, and not movies, of course, have an impact as well, but I'm talking TV. Which
More
American TV
specifically.
show impacted the Japanese on Christmas more than any other? What do you think?
Pee Wee's
Oh,
Christmas special.
Mm-mm. No, no,
Darn.
no, 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 no. That was close, though. Gabby, do you
Oh,
know? Want to guess, Gabby? You want to guess?
Christmas TV show or
Uh,
TV show
well, it was specifically a Christmas special on the show. Yeah.
on the show? The Star Wars Christmas special.
No, God, that was mean.
Sorry.
That was mean. No, oddly enough, Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, that was my second
ooh,
guess. Oh my gosh, I should have gone with that.
you would have
What?
gotten it right.
Yeah, Little House on the Prairie had probably had more than one Christmas special, I'd imagine. But there's
Oh,
one in particular that really hit the Japanese, because that show was madly popular here in Japan. Little House on the Prairie.
really?
And
Oh,
that Christmas special really turned the page for Christmas here in Japan. And of course, it has nothing to do with Jesus at all. Like if you ask the Japanese what a manger is, they would look at you sideways. They have no clue. But nevertheless,
is there
um,
a Japanese word for manger?
maybe not really.
Like, wouldn't it for a
Yabaya.
feeding trough? What would a
Well,
feeding trough be?
I think like a place to keep the animals in winter, maybe a yabaya.
Yada
Hmm.
yada, yada
I
yada.
don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't have a lot of the Japanese farming lingo at hand. I apologize.
Right. Oh no,
I
no, it's
mean,
fine.
Little House on the Prairie is so wholesome.
It is, and you gotta really love Charles Ingalls. I mean, come on. I mean, such a good father figure. Yeah. Even the pilot episode is so good. I mean, it's weird because probably a lot of your memories of Little House on the Prairie are a bit sappy. But if you go watch the pilot in season one, that show is hitting way harder than you think it is, right?
Rewatch it now. Rewatch it with a little bit of life under your belt and go, oh, oh, oh,
Yeah.
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Well, that show was always making the dads cry, and we're like, why are you crying, Papa? Why are you crying? He's like, it's just so it's so beautiful. Just like the struggle of Charles Ingalls to provide for his family and all that stuff, and how you know, especially that one episode, the richest man in Oak Grove,
Right.
I think is the name of the episode. Yeah. So all those very wholesome values that seem to be not as well respected anymore.
Well, I mean, I think when people see them, it's one of those things that just kind of, you know, good when you see it. So
Yeah,
I'm
but some
glad.
people really just don't see.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
people
it's kind of
don't.
it's a little disappointing, you know.
Yeah,
You know.
they blind their eyes. But still, it's neat that it's so well appreciated over there. Because agricultural stuff, well, no, I guess Japan must have an agricultural history. Do they have a lot with like animals and stuff, or are they more farmers?
Well, that's a hard question. I
That's
went and
right.
looked up manger, barn, and actually the Japanese use the same word they do for child, kodomo.
Really?
Yeah, that's weird.
Odd.
We'll feed the
Um,
children to the cows. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
don't do that.
But no, the Japanese, I'd say, they are certainly have a strong, close shore fishing history. They
Right.
certainly do farming, but they really suck at it. They always sucked at it. Of course, now, like everybody else in the world, they have the English farming techniques. Of course, the English are the kings of farming. But
Right.
yeah, it's a weird thing because it's like you would think, as with all old cultures, they would sustain themselves agriculturally.
Right.
And of course, they did have agriculture here. They're just really bad at it. I don't know. Traditionally in Japan, I can't say they're very good at anything.
Oh dear.
I know, especially seeing as they're so good at everything now. I mean, because
They're
they
good
they
at ninjas.
not even
Yeah.
really. That's not really
What
what you
about
think
No.
it is. It's a
textiles?
Hollywood image.
Yeah,
Um,
What about
yeah,
turtles took over
textiles and
that.
Sumi
yeah.
ink?
What was that?
What about the making of textiles and Sumi ink?
Yeah, no, they're good at that. There, you found one. There you go. They're really good at that. No, they are good at that.
Yes.
They're good at like, stuff like making pots or wooden drawers or houses. Yeah, artisanship. They're good at artisan stuff. There you go. There it is. Thank you. But farming, shockingly, no. Yeah, and I don't understand how it's such a boggling point of history for me because it doesn't make sense. But yeah, they're really bad farmers.
I
Well, I
guess
guess when you
if
can
you
just fish everything out of the water.
Yeah,
right,
well, I
it's
suppose
what do
so.
you need?
Yeah.
Like, the ocean provides everything. If your land's prosperous enough, you maybe don't have to try and make it, work.
Yeah, no, no,
No.
no. I mean, of course, during Edo Jidai, which is pretty much the only kind of history Japanese know anything about, um,
Mhm.
uh, the of course, taxation was based upon rice production, right? And of course, rice production was very high. And one of the problems they had with agriculture was you had to send, depending on the year, you had to send most all of your harvest to Edo, or what they call Tokyo today. And of course, therefore, you don't have much ambition to be very good at a thing if you don't get to keep the thing or benefit from it, right?
Yeah, if you don't get to
Um,
eat the rice, we'll grow it.
Right. So I think that's part of it.
Mhm.
The tyrannical rule of the dictator of the shogun. But I think that has a big part to do with it. But it is interesting in the city near me that I'm technically part of its halo. Is They actually didn't produce hardly any rice in this area, so their taxation was very, very low. But what they did have was one of the best fishing fleets in Japan, and they
Really?
were really rich, super rich.
Mm.
So much so that it made a later shogun quite upset and tried to cause trouble over here. But
Mm.
yeah, there was a little bit of murder, you know. Thank you,
Oh
king,
no.
shogun or dictator, I guess. Yeah, no, well, that's how they are. Yeah, so it was really kind of screwed up, the way they did things. And the funny thing is today, here in Saiki, it is
Mhm.
the most famous sushi spot in Japan.
Really?
People will travel from all over Japan just to go to this little teeny town over here to eat sushi.
So the fish is really good. Do they have to import the rice?
Probably.
Hmm.
Yeah, we do have some farmers here. There are some rice farmers, but mostly you have like vegetable farmers. But then again, the farming here just isn't strong. It's just not strong
Mm.
in this
Is it?
area. So I'm assuming they do import it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you think if you travel, if you like come another, so you come to America or you come to Japan, excuse me,
Mhm.
and do you think it'd be safe for someone who's not used to the local climate, to eat sushi? Like, I'm just wondering, like, because when you
Oh,
drink local water, you get exposed to pathogen, and your
Mm,
body doesn't have the immune system
for
mhm.
the region?
for the local bacteria
Yeah, this
and stuff.
is not China.
Or
Yeah,
India.
you can
Or
drink the
India.
w- you c- or India. You can drink the water out of the tap anywhere in Japan, and you'll be fine. Yeah, of course.
I think the
Oh,
question was more about the fish.
I'm going to
And
get
the,
to it.
the answer
Yeah,
to that is also yes, because I have gone and eaten the fish.
yeah.
And I was
Um,
very
Freshness is paramount.
Mm.
And if you serve bad fish, you're done. Your business is done. No, I mean it's that simple. The Japanese have the old way. If you screw it
Mm.
up, you're done. As it should be. Supply and demand and all
Right.
that, right?
Mhm.
But no, the freshness is vitally important. The Japanese go to ridiculous lengths. We actually have big old trucks that drive around Japan that are full of water. Yeah, I know. It's stupid because it's heavy.
Mhm.
But they do it anyway. So they're driving fresh fish around all the time. But there's also a little bit of a trick the Japanese have that the West never picked up on. There
Mhm.
is when you go to a sushi restaurant here in Japan, whether it be the lowest, kaiten sushi to the most expensive, ridiculous, stupidly expensive sushi. On your table, there will always be a bowl or a bucket of ginger,
fine.
Ooh.
fresh sliced ginger. And the interesting thing about ginger, and the reason why the Japanese eat it, most Westerners, I've heard many pro chefs say it's a palate cleanser. No, no,
Mhm.
that's not what it is. Ginger has this amazing effect of making rancid food not poisonous to your body. Yeah. So when
So
you
it
Right.
makes
eat,
great
Interesting.
breakfast.
well, so therefore, when you eat sushi, you also eat ginger just in case the fish might be a little bad. It protects you.
And
Mm.
and if you do have something going on in your stomach, it will clear that ish out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a bad time. It will be sudden and fierce, and you got to run.
Yeah, no, you don't want food poisoning from fish. That is true. It's a serious issue. But ginger just deals with it. And it's kind of shocking that the West doesn't understand the medicinal value of ginger.
Yeah, I
You
have
know.
there's a YouTuber that I watch who just he's been eating ginger his whole life where he
Mhm.
just he just carries around a ginger root in his pocket and just
Mhm.
nibbles on it on
Sure.
his daily life to the point where he just takes bites of it, like
Ooh.
larger and larger bites of it, because his body just gets used to it, and he has no stomach issues. But
Yeah.
like if he said, like, if your stomach hurts, just take a bite of ginger and the
Yeah.
stomach ache will go away almost instantly.
Yeah. No, ginger's magic. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I
Instant
heard it's.
diarrhea.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, and of course, there's a cousin to ginger that is also quite useful for many things. Here they call it ginseng.
Yeah.
But it's a type of ginger root, really.
Hmm.
But it has even better medicinal value. It
Does it
also
taste like?
No, it tastes horrible.
Oh.
Ginseng it has similar effects to ginger on your bowels, but mainly they take it because it clears the clouded mind, and it actually does this. It literally
Brain
works.
fog.
Yeah, it gets rid of brain fog, and it actually works, and it works pretty quick. But
Nice.
ginseng is is such an expensive commodity in Asia, though.
Mm, ginseng.
Yeah, ginseng, yeah,
Interesting.
real ginseng. They'll actually preserve it in alcohol, and they'll take it out and cut pieces when they're feeling unwell.
Really? I was watching a video earlier and they were talking about how to make it's like a ginger soda, but it's like apparently you take some ginger and you put it in a jar with some sugar and water and you just leave it there and it starts carbonating.
Yeah,
And apparently that's supposed to be like really good for your stomach and you can
yeah.
add it onto other juices and stuff.
We call it ginger beer in New England, and we drink it all the time.
Ginger
Oh,
beer
okay.
is so good.
It is so good. Birch
Ginger is
beer
what
is
you
great
take on
too.
the boat, right? So you don't get a.
Yeah, okay, all right, fine. But yeah, birch beer is great too. You ever had that? You must have had that, Andrew. That's our area of stuff.
No, I don't. I don't drink anything except for water.
Yeah.
We-
No, it's not actual beer. It's just the
no, I
carbonation.
know. That's what I'm saying. Is like I honestly don't drink
Yeah.
much anything else other than water.
You should try birch beer is really good. I mean, of course, ginger beer is a standard, for New England people. I
Mm.
don't know, English maybe too. But birch beer is more Southern New England, and it's one of those
Hmm.
little hidden treasures, man. There was a mom and pop convenience store slash deli on the corner, just before the road heading down to the beach. And I, of course, used to go to beach all the time. Why not? It's like literally a
Yeah.
20-minute walk. But on the way, I'd always stop into that place. I can't even remember the name of it. But I'd stop in that place and I get myself a birch beer. They made it themselves and bottled it
Mm.
themselves. Oh, it was so good,
Ooh,
man.
Now,
wow.
is the birch beer this? I know it's a New England thing, and so it sounds stupid that I'm asking you this question, but I've legitimately never had it. Is it? It's not. It's different than like a soda or a sugar drink. Like it's actually a something that is good for you, or is it more like
Yeah.
a?
The
Um,
ginger is.
I don't know if it's good for you.
Okay.
But it's more akin to, say, a sarsaparilla, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
It is very much our thing, all the way up into Canada. It's made from the sap, all right?
So are we talking about something that's different than ginger ale, or?
Oh no, it is different. Ginger ale is just a form of ginger beer, really, right?
Sure, right. That's
Yeah,
what. Well,
Ginger
that's what
beer
I
is
was
what
thinking.
you
That's why I asked the question because I've had ginger ale, but not.
yeah. Ginger beer
Dry
is
ginger beer.
is a little
Dry
deeper
ginger ale.
flavor, but it's similar, yeah.
ginger
But
beer is what we use for to make Moscow mules.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. And they actually there is such a thing as ginger beer that is actually has alcohol in it. That does exist. That's more of a
Mm.
Canadian thing than it is a New England thing.
Okay.
But
Yeah, Doug
um,
is pitching in on this as well in the
yeah.
chat.
Birch beer, it's like a sarsaparilla, but it's more close to a cream soda
Mhm.
than it
Hmm.
is
Interesting.
full on hardcore root beer, right?
Mm.
But
Oh.
it is made from they take the bark and they of course are sucking the sap out of it, right? Um, is what it's coming from. But it's just I don't know what to tell you. I grew up with it, and it's just one of my favorite things in the world. The taste is so amazing. I love sarsaparilla, all kinds of sarsaparilla. Although I did have because my university that I went to prides itself on involving its students in history. That's how they put it,
Mhm.
involving the student in history. At least when I was
Okay.
there. Now it probably has more to do with something else. But nevertheless, and so we had a person come up from, I think it was Bolivia or Peru, can't remember.
Huh?
But they came up and they did a class, kind of a guest lecturer, and they actually made for us the original um, you know, hot chocolate
Oh.
that the South Americans really enjoyed, Mexicans too, and it was god awful.
Uh-oh.
It was
It
bitter
wasn't
and
sweet.
and spicy hot, which I didn't mind spicy hot. It wasn't good at
Mhm.
all. The Dutch improved that like by frickin' a million percent, dude.
Make
Thank
it
you, Dutch
sweet. It'll
people.
help.
Yeah.
Moose,
Um, uh,
moose.
yeah, but I also had have had examples of I actually tried actually Virginia. What was that original? Everyone thinks it's Plymouth. It's not. What was that town in Virginia where they were growing tobacco? The original European settlement in North America. What was that called? Jamestown,
Williamsburg?
Jamestown, Jamestown,
Oh,
Jamestown.
Jamestown. Because there's
Um,
also Williamsburg.
Yeah,
I
but
know
no,
that.
Jamestown's the one I'm talking about. And of course, that's where when the Europeans coming over, they were trying to live off the land and figure this place out. And of course, they found the roots and started making sarsaparilla. So I've had original sarsaparilla from the Jamestown, colony. Don't try that; it's bad.
Was this before they had sugar?
Wasn't
Yeah, well,
sarsaparilla poisoned?
well, no, I'm still alive, so
Not that bad of poison.
I guess not. But yeah, boy, some of that old stuff that people had basically it's just they're surviving. You see,
Yeah,
yeah, we're
that's true.
thriving. There's a difference. There's a huge difference between surviving and thriving. But
Right.
nevertheless, tell us, chat, of interesting local drinks that you have in your area. Alpha Proto says, I need ginseng too, then. Maybe even rhino horn. You don't need that. I heard that it's good too. Make you strong like bull. Yeah, if you need rhino horn, the best solution to that problem,
Jack
Alpha
loin.
Proto, is get up every morning and do a little bit of exercise, and you'll be good. Right? You go
Jack
to the
Or
Jack
just take the
loin.
blue
Gas
pill.
station boner pills.
well, I
Jack
suppose,
loin.
but if you go to a doctor and you're actually have your hormones gone, and they actually can check you. Well, that you have another problem, but that's not usually the problem. The usual problem with that is lethargy. Seriously, if you get your blood moving, just go and do a little bit of exercise. If you're having problems like that, like for instance, go into like a hot bath, get the room all steamy and hot, dude. You'll be right as rain.
Oh,
Yeah, most
savage.
it's actually surprising how many ailments can be fixed with just some good exercise.
Yeah, just a little bit
Yeah.
of exercise, get your blood moving, steam it up, because the Japanese solution for that, the Chinese are the ones that do the rhino horn. That's them, and it doesn't even work. There are better aphrodisiacs, but the way that the Japanese have never had this kind of long-term problem because they have the onsen. And they'll go sit in the hot bath and it gets their blood all boiling and moving freely, and they just don't have that problem. The
You know
the
what's crazy?
Scandinavians in their sauna does the same thing. Go ahead, Gabby.
What's crazy is that you can tell. I mean, ancient Chinese medicine has sometimes it can be a crapshoot.
It can be. Yeah.
But you notice the decline of medicine in China when the you know who took over.
Oh no, definitely. They destroyed everything. Mao came in and said we must destroy the past. You know that stupid line that that freaking Marxist line they put in Star Wars? Kill it if you have
Yep.
to. That stupid ass line.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's Mao Zedong, right?
Yep.
Coming in and say we have to destroy the past. So they literally went and burned all the damn temples, burned every book they could find, destroy every ancient structure. And of course now they have flooding across the country all the time. I wonder why.
Right.
Because they blew up the freaking canal system that the ancient Chinese built, which was one of the great wonders of the world, to be fair. Those idiots absolutely destroyed it.
Preach, Chester, preach.
Well, I'm just telling you, man. I mean, these days now they're trying to reconnect with their history, but they've destroyed it all. If you see all those photos of people on the Great Wall of China, and it's a big tourist attraction for them. That's all fake. That was made recently, very recently. They rebuilt it with bad concrete and tofu drag.
Yeah, tofu walls.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not the original thing.
They destroyed the
Although there
original one?
They destroyed
might be real
everything.
people in
man.
that wall.
Even in the 80s?
in the 80s, there was a big shift to try to get away from Maoism. There definitely was a big shift from that, and it was very rocky. But by I'd say the late 90s, mid late 90s, China was starting to crest the hill. Things were getting better. It was getting better. Every year that went by, but then like a decade ago, you had a little arrogant dude by the name of Xi Jinping who has zero education. He's an absolute moron, and he is enamored with Mao Zedong, and he desperately wants to be the new Mao Zedong. Even though literally, and I'm not exaggerating, this is not hyperbole. Every single idea Mao Zedong had was stupid and wrong and failed. Every
Yeah.
single one,
But
right?
he's going to do it right.
Well, yeah, just like Obama, right? No one's done
Mhm.
socialism right. Yeah, right. Okay. Alrighty then.
Mhm.
They've tried it like 5 or 6 times.
At least.
Like,
Right.
seriously. Nobody's done it
problem is-
right yet.
Yeah. But no, the loss of heritage and legacy in China it's sad. If you're a historian, it's just don't even look at it. I mean, it's comparable. I mean, because two of the greatest tragedies in human history for me is the burning of the Library of Alexandria. That's
Yeah.
And that was done by Christians, by the way. Yeah, don't believe the hype. But
Oh,
and
it
then
wasn't an accident? It was on purpose?
it was Christians, yeah, and it's all
Oh, that's disappointing.
it's Constantine's fault. But
Oh, of course.
yeah, but there was a lot of pressure in going on in Alexandria anyway. There was so much political pressure, and it was kind of like when you let those invaders in, they tend to cause trouble. Like today in Europe and America. But anyway, the other one that really, really, really is super sad and upsets me is what the Spanish did in the Americas. Because any damn book they could get a hold of, they burned. Heresy, blasphemy. Of course, brought to you by the
Spanish
people that
Inquisition.
brought you the Inquisition. Should not be shocking to
The
you.
Inquisition.
Mm.
What a
And-
show. The
and how
Oh, one
luck-
questions
Inquisition.
the Spanish Inquisition.
Right, that's a great skit, dude, from Monty Python. Luckily, we had someone had hid and saved a copy of the Popol Vuh, so we do have that. And there was also a Franciscan priest, which is kind of interesting because the Franciscans, well, anyway, there's a Franciscan priest who actually went about historically documenting things. He thought it was interesting. He was interested in history. So we have a couple of sources of things that did survive a little bit, but the amount of because people don't understand this in the Americas, they had books, paper, bound books, scrolls.
Yeah.
This
I
wasn't.
saw that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yes.
I saw that in the documentary El Dorado.
Oh, did you? Yeah. But no, it's so irritating. Anyway,
That'd be interesting. I wonder where they learned bookbinding from.
I wonder why. I wonder where. Yeah. But no, those people were highly sophisticated. They had full-on civilization. Their cities were bigger than anything else on the planet at the time. Yeah.
Hmm.
They had the largest cities, actually. They had police force. They had libraries. They had doctors. Apocalypto, as beautiful a movie as it is from Mel Gibson, is not even close to being accurate. That is a Western image of what it looked like. That is not true. They had full-on society. They did have honor killings. Of course, we still have that in places today. The Aztec, particularly up in Mexico, of course, keep in mind those guys are from Colorado, right? They're not even from Mexico. And the local people hated their guts because they were so murderous and horrible that when the conquistador did come over, because keep in mind there was only a few hundred of them, right?
Right. There
The
weren't
reason
many
they were
people.
able to defeat Montezuma was because all the other people joined together with them to fight the war, because they hated
Because
these invaders. They hated them.
they were. So those people had come relatively recently to the area.
Within a few centuries, a couple centuries, maybe
Mm.
even less. It's still argued. They don't really know. But
Right.
of course, this
Right.
also touches on something that's important because at the same time that the Spanish and the Portuguese are down in those areas, the English and Germans and Dutch and all those guys were in North America, right? But what did they run into? They ran into Indians natives that were on their knees. They were savage and barbaric. They had something horrible happened in North America, and we just don't know what it is, or we don't want to talk about it or research it. And I would assume that whatever that cataclysm was that struck North America is what drove the Aztecs south.
It was the red-headed giants, Chester. It was the giants in Nevada. I
Well,
know
Oh,
it.
hell yeah.
well, okay, but the Native Americans, of course, do talk about giants. And there are a couple of redheaded groups that they didn't care for, but most of the time when you go read, annals that have been written down by various historians over the past few hundred years, they talk about another type of giant, which was blonde and blue-eyed, that they liked very much and got along with really well. And it was interesting because as close as the Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, and New England, all the way over to California, we have stories in these tribes that said that they're what they call them their white friends is what they called them. That was their word for them. And they said that their white friends came to them and said there is a great plague coming. There are other people who look similar to us, but they are different, and they will be a burden upon you. And then they disappeared. Their white friends left somewhere. Now, isn't that interesting that we have tribes from the east to the west that have the same story of being warned of the invading Europeans coming in? Isn't that interesting?
It was the
Yeah.
moon people.
Moon people or the
Yeah.
Or is it 'cause
Anasazi people.
Anunnaki.
Yeah.
because isn't
Anunnaki,
I'm sort of joking.
the
Just
Nordics.
so we're clear, I'm joking. But in
No, there
Japanese
there are
culture,
stories of red headed giants though that were bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did look that up. Apparently, one of the tribes has a famous story of how they defeated the giants in their area by chasing them into a cave,
Yeah.
and
Burned
it
them out.
shook them up so bad that they still talk about it to this day.
Yeah.
You know,
No, there's
the
stories like
giants
that.
built the pyramids. The giants built the pyramids, they reckon.
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying that you got to take a point of view. What's a giant, right? The Native Americans were very short people. They're not very big. There were a couple of them, the Susquehannock. I can't remember how to pronounce it. They were
Oh, I
basically
know.
well, they were Vikings. They were the Vikings that had stayed, is what they were. But they were just small people. So I would be a giant. You got to keep in mind, what is a giant, right? We have
You
this
are a
idea in
giant.
our head of 15, 20, 30 foot. That's not what a giant is. A giant is like 7 feet, 8 feet, right? That's what a giant is. And keep in mind, whilst we respect, particularly in our manifest destiny as we were moving west, there were when farmers and people were just building and creating the world, right? They come across a lot of skeletons, and of course, we had established Smithsonian Institute quite early, and they would make a call to the government, and someone from the institute would come out, and of course, they would take the bones and collect them. These giants, when they found these giants, and like I said, they're 7, 8 foot tall. There's even a couple are like 9 foot tall. And they took them to the Smithsonian. Now, here's the thing: we have newspaper articles, we have writings, documentations, we have photographs of them, right? Actual
Yeah.
photographs. And of course, if you call the Smithsonian today, and I challenge you to try it, piss them off, please. But no, you call them up and you say, "Hey, where are all those giants you guys collected back in the 19th and early 20th century?" Their comment. This is the official comment of the Smithsonian, by the way. We have misplaced them. So,
Oh
so
my.
Suspicious.
they don't deny having it. They don't deny the existence of it. They just won't let you see it.
Huh.
Suspicious.
Abraham Lincoln
Yeah,
has a
lost them.
speech that wasn't talking about the giants that wasn't hidden correctly. I don't know why they're hiding it. That's the crazy part. Why are they
Well,
hiding it?
they hide it all over Cyprus, Crete. There's a lot of places they hide it. And keep in mind, we're not talking about 15, 20-foot giants here. We're talking about 7 to 9 foot tall people, is what we're
Right.
talking about,
Yeah.
right?
I'm pretty
Is that
tall.
Jekyll Island too?
That's true.
I
Jekyll
mean,
as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like,
7?
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. I was just saying 7 feet tall. There are groups of people in different countries where 7
Sure.
feet tall is, I mean,
Denmark.
it's tall, but it's not that tall.
Yeah.
So if you had
Denmark.
somebody who, yeah, if you had somebody who was 7 feet tall and that was fairly common, and one of them was like had a giant's like disease or
Yeah.
something like that, then they would pretty easily be like 9 or 10 feet tall.
Yeah, no. And of course, like I said, we do have photographs. We have even bone fragments people still have. And of course, Smithsonian's got full
Mhm.
bodies. But
Right.
there does seem to be two catalog groups, though, that we find around the world. America was the highest amount of them. You have these blonde, blue eyed ones that are just human. They're human. Everything about them is human. They're probably Scandinavians, who, that's probably what they are. But
Perfect.
then you do have the redheaded ones, but the redheaded ones are different. Those skeletons tend to have 6 fingers and 6 toes on each appendage. They
Mhm.
also tend to have 2 rows of teeth instead of a single row of teeth. So they're a different type of hominid. They're a different type,
Nephilim.
They're
So they're
hama weird.
and they have red
white.
hair. Those are the red-headed ones. But most of the ones they find are just very tall
So
Scandinavian
they also have
people.
no souls.
No, that
Hmm.
too, sure. Yeah, but I'd be careful with that because keep in mind for a long time that the black people didn't have souls either. So until they found Jesus, I
Oh,
guess.
Oh,
shoot.
Yeah.
Oh,
until they
shoot.
found that train, right?
hmm
Old train.
Yeah,
This is a great Santa
that's
Claus
the.
that Alan's got going on. But yeah, no, that was a pretty dark period. Yeah. I don't know why it is that the black people got so much scorn from everybody, but boy, did they. I mean, because the richer Europeans, of course, look down on everybody. Because they're
Yeah.
rich people. It still happens today. But they never said that the Orientals were soulless, or the Muslims were soulless, or the Indian, the Native Americans were soulless, or the dot not feather Indians were soulless. They never made these comments. The only people who were without a soul were the poor African black slaves. It's like, what the
And
hell,
the
dude?
redheads.
That's penis envy.
But that's not even true, though, dude. That's not even true. There have been multiple studies done. On average, Northern European white men are the largest penised men on the planet, or penile men on the planet. Now, of course, black Americans. This is a misnomer. We use the word black. We used to use colored, as they do in many places in Africa for talking about mulatto or mixed people. Keep in mind, the average black person you talk to in the street, he might look very black to you, but he's 60% European. I mean, that's the reality of it. So
Sure.
that's just a myth. That's not even real.
Well, I don't want to really get into the how they were basically bred out here.
They were bred. Yeah, no, it's horrible. It's
You know what I
horrible.
mean?
Slavery is horrible, dude. And
Oh,
and
Yeah.
and you have to argue which was worse because the you know they were breeding them. And the reason the honestly the good intentions of the founders is what kind of led to the breeding camps. Because they wanted to get rid of slavery completely. But the southern states, of course, that was their bread and butter, and they wouldn't give it up, right? So in the Constitution, they took a half step, and you're not allowed to buy slaves internationally. So when the Constitution came in, right, in the 1780s, they could no longer buy slaves from outside. Therefore,
oh,
breeding programs were heavily enlisted in America, and that's one of the reasons those kept in mind. But keep in mind, also take a thought of this: which is worse, these breeding camps, which lasted what, 60 years, right? Of these breeding camps, so 3 generations. Is that which is worse, that or the Muslims? The reason why there's no blacks in the Middle East is because they're the number one slavers in history. Keep that in mind. But when the Muslims took a slave, they gelded them,
Hmm.
right? So therefore, there are no blacks in the Middle East. So they had no breeding programs, and of course they treated them horribly and they died very quickly. But from the Muslim point of view, there's always more slaves.
Yeah.
right? Where in America they were a precious commodity. Slaves, especially after the winning of the war and us becoming America, slaves became even more expensive and more valuable, right?
Man.
But I would argue the breeding programs are more evil than gelding, but I don't know. It's all evil.
No, right? It's a terrible thing to have to try and rank. We need
Anyway,
to not have either of them now.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, all right.
Well, it is
Let's
merry
get back to that
now.
Yule log.
It's better than it used to be. Christmas.
Well,
Okay, you want me to talk about Christmas? I'll talk about Christmas. The art's looking good, by the way. But yeah, no, Christmas stuff. Let's see here. Um, I like,
I am
uh,
going.
I do like Yule quite a bit. It's got a lot of neat things. Here's one
Mhm.
for Andrew that he might appreciate. Over here in Japan and in Southeast Asia and stuff like that, the old religions are still strong, right?
Sure.
In general, Buddhism is for death and they have various forms of animism, which are for life. Okay, cool. They've kind of made this mixed thing, right? But it is still strong here, and outside of China, China burned everything. But the rest of Asia still keeps a good strong tradition, and they have a thing here in the Japanese probably make the most beautiful ones. It's called a butsudan, and they have kind of two varieties of them. And basically, what it is a house shrine. It's in your house. It's an actual shrine, and they're fairly sizable. I guess the size of a cabinet, maybe. And they have little teeny ones which are put up high on the wall, one for water and one for fire to protect the house. And they every day they'll clap their hands and pray to the spirits to protect the house. But the Butsudan, the Buddhist priest will come over and like once a year or so, and he'll do a little ding. They do this thing to cleanse the house. But the
You
Butsudan,
just
what
cleansed my house.
I
Crazy.
did. I did. But they will put little snacks and little gifts on the Butsudan to the gods for protection. And of course, then later they'll eat it, right? As you do. But a lot of people don't understand that the Christmas tree is actually a Butsudan. That's what its original purpose was. Keep in mind that in the old times, surviving the winter was a real deal. The Yule log was, they literally cut down a tree in like September, and the men would all drag it into the longhouse because everybody, including all the animals, are in the longhouse trying to survive that damn winter. But you would get a period of about 12 days. Right now, I know the 12 days of Christmas thing is also attached to the mysticism of that number. However, for like a couple of weeks was the most dangerous part of winter, right? And what they would do was they were dragging this big tree basically and light it on fire. That thing would burn for about 2 weeks and help them get through the winter and survive. But they always would grow an evergreen tree just outside the longhouse, right? And they would decorate it, and they would put little gifts to Odin, right? Wednesday, and to help them get through the winter and asking for his blessing, right? And of course, after it was done, they would take these little things off and give them to the children, presents. But it is a butsudan. It is something that is meant to, ask the gods for protection. And of course, as time went by, the presents got heavier and heavier, and they started needing the gods less and less. That the presents went under the tree, and then they just started decorating the tree in a metaphoric way, and therefore a modern Christmas tree.
Now, evergreen trees,
Beautiful.
those are usually have like kind of caustic stuff in them, right? Is that why do they burn longer than other
They
trees
don't
for
burn. They
that?
don't burn that tree. The conifer is grown outside of the hall, and
Oh, okay.
grows continuously. And every year they would decorate it because it is evergreen. Therefore, it survives winter, representing eternal life.
Oh, cool.
No, the trees they would cut down would be deciduous, hardwood trees, big
Oh,
ones.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. So then it was just keeping like a lot of, I guess it was just like kind of manning a normal sort of fire. at that point.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just
yeah. But
inside.
it was just became tradition to bring in a giant log. The long there's argument amongst archaeologists that that's why the long houses are long.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah,
Big, it's heavy,
So
it's wood.
rather than have to stack it up.
yeah. But
Log.
keep But the longhouses also were a place where, yeah, just like temples everywhere in the world, they used to be places where you go to school, kids get educated, you go find a doctor, you go at talk to a counselor, you could go look for jobs. The temple used to be the center of the world for everybody, and that's where they would congregate and live their lives. And of course, for the Scandinavians, the temple is the longhouse, right? The town
I think
Log,
center.
it's log.
I think the Native Americans have long
Big,
houses.
it's
Well, I
heavy, it's
mean,
wood.
there's so many different cultures, but
Yeah.
some of the northern ones did.
Yeah, those Scandinavians been in North America a lot longer than we think.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah,
Mm.
we see it as 1,200 years. I'd say it's probably thousands. But then again, the oldest bones we find in the Americas are of course, Cro-Magnon, and pretty much everybody I'm talking to here is Cro-Magnon.
You're a Cro-Magnon.
Just saw an article that I mean, things we already knew, right? But that the oldest bones for the white race were just found, and it concludes that they were not out of Africa.
No, no, the out of
The white,
Africa thing has been debunked for freaking 2 decades, dude.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
saw that
actually
article. Yeah.
into Africa. The blacks are the youngest of us. And
Interesting.
to the black Africans, anyway,
Sure, yeah.
and it is interesting because even when I was at university, and I was involved in early anthrogenetic studies. They've become so much better now, right?
Hmm.
But The interesting thing is one of the arguments that the out of Africa, because it's really just about people trying to sell books, right?
Mhm.
But the out of
Sure.
Africa thing that stuck for so long because of Darwin, right, is really why it
Hmm.
happened. But the out of Africa thing, they were constantly looking for evidence to prove it, and they, of course, found very little. But one of the points of evidence they said was, well, we find genetically that the Negroid people are the most diverse genetically, meaning they have the most mutations. Okay, but in my brain, that because I was studying that at the time, right? And in
Hmm.
my brain, I was like, well, doesn't that mean they're the youngest then?
Right. Because you would start off with the least mutations,
That's
not
right. Yeah,
right.
right, right. And of course,
Mhm.
now we know that's true. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they don't know the original form of us comes from. But
Right.
we probably can trace ourselves all back to a single type if you want to look at it evolutionarily or adaptationally. The current forms of humans we have are literal different forms. They literally are. The white people are from North America. A lot of evidence is pointing toward that the Mongoloid people are from actually South America, not even Asia,
Hmm.
Oh,
right? The
huh.
Well, that's
Africans,
really interesting.
it is interesting. The black Africans, of course, are from Africa, but keep in mind, if you go back to the glaciation period before the Younger Dryas events, Africa didn't have its northern part. It was underwater. That didn't start
Oh,
coming
wow.
out of water until a big old huge asteroid hit in the Indian Ocean and caused that entire shelf to start lifting up to the west, right? And it's still moving, by the way. The north of Africa, it still rises a little bit every year. So
Interesting.
that impact was not that long ago. It was that whole area we call North Africa was probably lots of little islands, right? But
Oh.
in the south, it was the big, huge chunk which is sitting on a cataract, right? South of Africa, that thing ain't moving, right? That's a very serious piece of land, and that's where they were. And as the water levels came up little by little, these other human types started going to investigate. Ooh, what's this? And they probably already kind of boated the way down because all the other
Right.
human groups have history of seafaring going way, way, way back. The black Africans don't have any of that, right? So they eventually ran into them and whatever type of hominid was living in that area. Obviously, it was a very sophisticated one. And then they started interbreeding, and that's what gave you the 5 races of Negroid we have today.
Interesting.
I wonder,
Crips
is
and the
that
Bloods. Hey,
do you think that has something to do with why there's so much desert in the northern part of Africa? That it came up that way, or
I think so.
am I thinking of
I think it has a lot to do with it. But keep in mind, the North of Africa has been green and not green many times just in the past 10,000 years, right? During the Middle Ages, for instance, North Africa was green.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of rivers that are now dry that were flowing. And there's a lot of question, geologically, what happened? Why is that going on? We know it during Roman time, it was super green. But then again, the Romans, being as efficient as they were, they had a system where every so many miles, right, of road that they would have running across the entirety of North Africa, right? Every so many miles of roads, of course, there would be little towns and little farms and stuff, and they would have those people kind of. I've seen us do it here, where you kind of adopt the road. This piece of road is your responsibility, but anything you take off this road, like olives and things like this, you get to keep the profit as long as you maintain it, right? The Romans had this in place. Therefore, during the entire Roman time, that they, since Alexander, really, the
Right.
north of Africa was gorgeous. And then, of course, the Muslims came in and destroyed and burned everything because, that's what they do.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
That's so
Uh,
strange.
yeah. But
I
the
wonder if that's why we just still kind of have this image of like lions and jungles and stuff, and it doesn't make sense now because it always seems so arid there. But maybe there was a point where you might have seen a lion in a jungle.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, no, definitely. For sure.
there were
There are a lot of
different
them.
species of lions
Hmm.
too, and some were from the jungle
Yeah,
that they don't exist anymore. And there were giant lions that don't exist anymore either. Like
it's true.
talk about
Cave
kings of the
lions,
jungle, like they're
smilodons. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, I mean,
Just watched Cruise this morning, so yeah.
but this is one of the drier periods. But North Africa goes through periods. But it seems that it needs, at least in, the past few thousand years, it needs human attention and management to stay green. And currently it's run by Muslims and
And they don't take care of.
Oh, that's very
Yeah,
interesting, Chester.
basically, Mother Nature saw our Pokemon collection and it dried right up.
it did. It did. It
Oh
did.
my god.
There's
Yeah,
just
I
too
mean,
many of them. They're just bringing out too many types,
too many
and
types, too many types.
yeah.
And, I'm well aware that there are, just as a caveat here, I'm well aware that there are plenty of nice, friendly, kind Muslims. I'm well aware. The Islamists are the problem. I know. However, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah,
And it's
mostly referring to.
well, I mean, it's the thing that one of the truest forms of irony you can ever say is our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. Our ability to
Mhm.
adapt to any situation is amazing. Humans are amazing, right? We are survivors, but that is also what makes us weak, and the fact that we'll never get out of this freaking ugly, disgusting cycle because we get used to it and we let these assholes stay in charge and run shit. That's the reality of being human. We'll never escape it. Merry
Because we get too
Christmas.
comfortable.
I think we've
We
got
get too
Jesus, and I
comfortable.
think we can do
Although,
something great.
have you noticed recently? I don't know why this is, but recently we've been seeing, I think it's because of Syria, because they got a hold and they don't want you to realize that, oh, the guys in charge of Syria are terrorists. Oh, right, don't look. But we've seen a lot of talk trying to soften their image, and we've also seen a bunch of imams come out recently. I mean, in the past month, right? Saying that, many of the aspects of Christmas are not haram, and in fact are halal.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
That's a change. That's a shift. Haram
Yeah.
meaning bad, halal meaning acceptable, right?
I mean, Saint Nicholas is. I mean, he's not Arab, but he is from Turkey.
It's true.
That's true.
What does Saint Nicholas have to do with Christmas?
traditionally, he's Santa Claus.
No, he's
That's
not.
true.
There he is, Santa
No,
Claus.
he's
Pretty
really,
cool.
really, really
That's
not.
what the
Totally Santa
no, that's what the
Claus.
Catholics made it.
Yeah, it's not. He's not at all associated with Christmas whatsoever. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
That is very much a Catholic thing.
Yep.
And now to be fair, there are a lot of
Mhm.
sainted Catholic priests over time that were pretty horrible humans, right? But there are some that were
Mhm.
pretty good, and in all fairness, he seemed like a pretty nice fella.
Sure.
He did. He literally cared about kids and families. Particularly, one thing that he really didn't like was young women being forced into marriage. He
Yeah.
didn't like that. He was kind of against the really stringent arranged marriage situation. So he did a lot of work in that area. But no, Santa Claus. His name is Odin.
Nope. It's Santa Claus.
Yeah, that is Santa Claus. Yeah.
Santa Claus.
But keep in mind, for a Christian, technically, none of those things have anything to do with Christmas for you whatsoever.
That's
Your
correct.
important imagery is the manger. That's it.
Of course.
Yeah.
None of those other
I mean,
things mean
But
anything.
may I put it out there that
Uh-oh.
there is throughout history when peoples were Christianized, they still retained some of their culture,
Sure.
and so a lot of the European cultures still celebrated their holidays when they normally would.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And there's nothing wrong with a Christian or a Muslim enjoying all the secular aspects of Christmas. Why not? It's wholesome. It's fun. It's family. It's
reindeer.
good. But as far as a Christian goes, the most important part of it is, of course, the birth of Jesus. That's the number
Correct.
one thing,
Absolutely.
right?
Mhm.
Right. Even though he was
Correct.
born in
Yes.
May, um, you know.
Yes.
So when we celebrate his birthday, all the
You do,
same.
you do, and they did that to kind of shift to, as Gabby just said, to because the Catholic Church and the Islamists' approach to control is very different. The Islamists basically, throughout history, come in and they say, "Join us or die." It's simple, right? But the Christians are more about they want you to think it was your idea, the Catholics. It's you thought of it. And that's why they take holidays and try to arrange them. Like you have Samhain. Samhain is a perfect example, right? We call it Halloween. But what does Halloween mean? Well, it means the eve before All Hallows Day, which is November 1st, which is a holiday they created to memorialize and remember all the saints, right? That was created specifically to try to undermine Samhain, 100%. Right? That's what the Catholics do, and it usually fails. Well, most cases, it fails pretty heavily. The one that really sticks for them is Easter, even though that was technically a spring festival, remembering Venus and Europa, right? But they succeeded really well in that, and I think it's because Yeshua was literally killed during Passover and all that stuff. So, it's actually historically accurate. So Easter,
Awkward.
Easter sticks because it's a real thing, right? The other ones had less success. But nothing against Saint Nicholas. Like I said, he seemed like a really nice fella, and he was very much about supporting children. Like I said, particularly young girls being forced into marriage. That was his big shtick. He didn't like it, right? Um,
Yeah.
and good on him, right?
Yeah, which is
Mhm.
fair.
Yep. I
You
think
know,
Because
that's a
like
nice.
it's really interesting how like you mentioned that there are some saints who were made saints, and it's
sure,
like you actually look at their life and you're like, why are they a saint again?
yeah,
Mhm.
Like Thomas More, for example, has sainthood. But really befittingly, John Paul II made him the patron saint of politicians, and I'm like, he knew what he was doing.
right. No,
I thought that was
that's true.
Satan.
I still think it makes sense to have a really big holiday in the winter where people aren't having to work on the farms. So, if you're going to have a really big holiday,
That's a good time for it.
yeah, it's a good time for it when everybody can stay inside and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Better
Now,
tell
is it
Nancy
true,
Pelosi.
Chester?
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Thomas More was a very famous kind of lawyer judge during, I guess he calls himself a philosopher in statesman, but he was a lawyer under Henry VIII's time. That's who Thomas
Oh,
More was, and he was sainted. Yeah,
great guy, huh?
Yes.
yes,
He was
no,
very shrewd.
he was shrewd.
Uh,
He was shrewd. But surviving Henry's court, you got to be shrewd because Henry was
so
But shrewd, like Raphael. No.
Henry was a pretty bad dude, man. He was
he
bad.
liked to kill a lot of
Yeah,
people.
it's
Was it
weird.
Henry who came up with the divorce?
No, but no, divorce has been around forever. Interesting. You know who's always had the most fair and balanced divorce? I don't know about these days, but traditionally, historically, is the Scandinavians. They have a very fair and balanced divorce system in place. But then again, Scandinavians had like the best judicial system, honestly, since Hammurabi. To be fair,
Hmm.
because we just
Harambe?
think of them as Vikings, and
Dang, he pulled out the Hammurabi. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. But a lot of people have this image of the Scandinavians as Vikings, and you misunderstand that for the Scandinavians, a Viking is a bandit.
Yeah, they're just
Really?
They are,
giant man children.
yeah, they're illegal. And there were some jarls, but more particularly thanes, that looked the other way because they gave them cuts of the profit. But
Oh,
technically, within the various domains of the Scandinavian kingdoms, Vikingry was illegal.
it makes sense.
Yeah, they're
And
basically
then,
pirates, right?
They're pirates. Yeah, they're bandits. They're not. These aren't. They are not the Scandinavian people,
cool hats
It's all
though.
the Vikings you're looking for.
right? Yeah,
Not all Scandinavians. Hashtag.
not all. That's true. Not all.
We're in
Not all.
America.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, the oldest sustainable democracy in the world is still Scandinavia. They've had
Interesting.
democracy long before everybody else did.
Now, did they have like a representative democracy, or was it small enough that they could do direct democracy?
No, well, I would say they did have councils, so you could call it kind of a pseudo early parliamentary type of system. And keep in mind, the ones who did put the parliamentary system in, the British say, "We did it, we did it." And yeah, okay, you did, but those were
Yeah.
Normans who created that, who are, of course, Scandinavians.
Yep.
They were putting in their system. Um, uh,
Sure.
but yeah, so it was somewhat representative. It's not equal to modern day parliamentary politics, but
Right.
the jarls, of course, you would have a high jarl. The jarls were like, they worked a little more like dukes, really, for the high jarl, and of course, thanes were barons. The system worked pretty well for them. If you go and study it, they're considered to have one of the most fair and balanced legal systems throughout history, consistently. Yeah, and that includes
Nice.
division of wealth, divorce, crime and punishment, and all that kind of stuff. They're far more civilized than people give them credit for.
It's nice.
Like, have you seen there's this kind of image comparison between how, like, well, Scandinavians and the Germans are different, but like
Sure.
what was it? It's like the Romans, how they depicted a German barbarian versus how a German depicted a German barbarian, and like one looks like a nice, like, marble, like, beautiful man encapsulated as a marble statue, and then you have like asterisks.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's of course a Gaul. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. But the Romans were masters of propaganda. Keep that in mind.
Mm.
The Romans were very simple, or the Palladians is really what we should call them. But I don't know, Rome's easier. But They were very simple. Pay your taxes. Don't be too noisy. Do what you like. That's the Romans. They don't care what god you worship. They don't care your traditions. They don't care if you burn, babies on this day or that day. They don't really care. Just pay your taxes and don't make noise for us. right? And I say
Mhm.
that the baby thing because that was going on with some of the Slavic tribes and the
Oh,
Turkic tribes as well. But of
Probably
course,
still happening.
it is, and of course, North Africa, they were able to, because all the great empires throughout history have done everything they can to get rid of. Most people today call it the cult of Moloch, the Balites.
Yes, sir.
But
Mm.
really, here's a name that you probably only recognize from Lovecraft, although it's not his word. But Nyarlathotep
Mm.
Oh
is
my
really who
goodness.
we're talking about. An Egyptian cult that has been around forever, and they're really nasty, nasty beasts. And every empire throughout history has done their best to squash it, and they fail. I don't know where these cockroaches hide. I guess it's called Hollywood today. But
Mhm.
these
Nice.
though those are nasty, nasty people, dude. The stuff they do is bad. It's not like, because you'll have like here in Southeast Asia, for instance, there's lots of cannibalism, and the Southeast Asians are cannibals. But you're misunderstanding it. The most of their cannibalism is when a revered elder dies, they were showing respect by eating pieces of usually the brain. It's not cannibalism. It's
Oh, they're
ritualistic
so
cannibalism.
gluten.
The gluten free, yeah, that's fair.
Gluten.
But yeah, those Molochs, man.
Locally sourced
Yeah,
cannibalism.
they definitely don't like Christmas.
No.
Yeah.
They, no.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get some coffee. Talk amongst yourselves. There's no Jeff.
Okay.
I got to create a straw poll, don't I?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's all on you
And
today,
maybe you
Chester. You
shouldn't
can
maybe
do
you
it.
shouldn't go get coffee. You shouldn't rely on us to just talk amongst ourselves.
No, get coffee,
Well, no,
Chester.
because I'm going to be smart and I'm going to put Eric in charge because he's an
Ah.
It's too
older,
late.
responsible gentleman.
I'm going to talk about the globalist.
Yeah.
You talk about the globalists. You go ahead.
There's
All right, Eric.
a.
Eric,
Let's
what
talk
are we
about
talking about?
Christmas.
They're going
Is
to
Eric
go
even
get.
here? Where is Eric?
Nope. Nope.
Anyone have a favorite?
Oh, there's
I'll
something.
start. Let's go down the line. We'll start with the girls. Girls first. What was your favorite Christmas gift that you can remember?
Ah,
Let's see.
let's see. Favorite Christmas gift. Let's see. I think it would still be that one. Probably. I'm trying to think of like anything recently. I'm sure. Just
Or
really enjoy.
even something you given?
Well, that's a possibility too.
Mm.
Because it can be fun to make gifts for people. You know what? I had a really good time here last year when we had our Secret Santa.
Oh, that
was
was really fun.
Wasn't that great? That was
Ah,
awesome.
that was a
And
smart thing. Too, yeah.
yeah,
That was already a year ago. Crazy.
Yeah.
I know, right? It doesn't
We
hardly
should have
seem
done
like
that
it.
again.
I,
Should have made that
you
a
know what?
tradition.
We should have that as a tradition. Well, you know what?
Mhm.
If I've got enough time, I can do a really, really quick sketch for somebody. But
We can always get together off show and just kind of
uh,
have a meetup like on Discord or something.
Yeah.
we have everybody here and give Eric a lot more work to do organizing everything. But yeah, that was great. I think that's probably I would love to have that as like a new tradition. I know things have been crazy here for everybody, so didn't really get a chance to organize that much, but yeah, that was probably one of my favorites recently, both in receiving and in giving. It was a really fun event together. That was great.
And playing
Nice.
with.
Mhm. So how about you?
Oh, my friends, they wanted me to. I mean, this is like kind of materialistic, but it was like the thought that counts. But my friends pitched in. They bought me an Xbox because they wanted me to play games with them.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And that
Whoa.
was very sweet.
That's
And
awesome. Cool.
I mean,
So
I
what
felt
kind
bad because I barely play video games at all.
Hmm.
well,
But
they want to be part of the problem. We can't say, hey,
yeah.
oh, that's so
But it
cool.
was very
It's
nice
not
to.
like got you with a candy bar. So sorry.
Yeah. But one of the things
No.
I remember, one of those same friends, I remember giving. It was during COVID, and no one could fly home at the time, and
Oh
I got
yeah.
him a Scotch glass because we also drink Scotch. That had his hometown on it, a map of his hometown on it.
Oh,
Oh,
I
nice.
he
brought his
could.
home to him,
Oh, that's awesome. Did you get to hang out
which is
online then for?
Andrew.
Yes.
That was like it was a map of Worcester.
Oh, really?
Right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. So did you get to hang out on Christmas then and have a drink and play some
Oh yeah, yeah.
Xbox?
We all lived out here. We all live out here in California, so we all got to hang out. But he wasn't. My buddy didn't
He
visit
couldn't
his
go home.
family every year, and that year he couldn't.
That's sad. That's cool. Now, wait a minute. How did you get the glass? I guess you just found it online, or did you get a friend to
Yeah,
relay it?
special order online.
Oh, cool.
Hey, internet.
That's right. Yay, internet. Oh my gosh, that makes Christmas shopping so much easier.
That's awesome.
That is. Oh, that is neat. Well, let's see. Is
But
Eric
you,
back?
Andrew,
Andrew,
How about
we know
me?
Andrew's
Like,
here.
what was my favorite gift?
Yeah, to give,
yeah,
to
giving or
receive.
receiving.
Well, last year, my brother gave me actually, I think probably a couple of you saw it online. My brother gave me a custom plush of Odd for my comic book.
Yeah.
So, so he ordered that because my sister-in-law, his wife, does craft fairs, and so my brother was working a
Ooh.
craft fair, and with her, and they met a girl there who makes custom plushies, and so he asked if commissions were an option. She said yes. We threw her a whole bunch of reference of Odd. I get a custom one of a kind plushie, which it's funny because you think about it. It's like, man, if ever I got to a point where I was mass producing these kinds of things, it even the mass produced quality wouldn't even be this good because all of her assets, like all her armor, her kilt, her everything has buttons on it, buttons and
Oh my.
clamps, so you can actually
Oh,
remove all of it and then put it back on.
so this
Um,
thing's gorgeous.
yeah, so it's pretty high quality as far as that goes, and it's just so I don't know if I'll ever be able to get a gift that will top a custom plushie of one of my own characters. Because now she's just a table buddy. I bring her to every convention, and she just sits on the
Aw.
table as like a decoration, as a draw to the table. So
That's
that's
great.
that's probably my answer. I'd say
So your plushie brings all the boys to the yard.
that's right. And their life is better than yours.
Ah, yeah.
That sounded
Well,
like a
that's
horrible music reference.
It was.
It was.
My favorite Christmas song.
Jester, we are going around the group and asking what is our favorite gift received or given that we've ever received for Christmas.
Oh, mine's easy. What can I answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
I lived the place I lived, has a lot of where I grew up, a lot of rich people. And there was this really rich guy, and when he died, he had no heirs, and he
Oh no.
left all his millions to the children of Narragansett, and therefore every year at Christmas, the kids who go to Narragansett Elementary School, which I did, they would have tables set up for first, second, third, all the way through sixth grade, and you could go in and take any toy you wanted off the table, right? It was almost as good as Riff.
So
Reading,
this
yeah,
was like Santa's workshop, basically.
yeah,
His-
kind of, but it's just a cool, it's kind of a cool little thing in the town I grew up in. But
That is
anyway,
cool.
so every year, and they go in, they buy real stuff. They weren't being stingy. They weren't, corrupt and abusing the thing. It was legit, right? And on the table that was marked with my grade, I think it was third or fourth, they had a giant samurai warrior riding. No, it was like 3 foot tall, man, or 2.5.
Oh no.
And his fist shot off. He had missiles come out of his
Oh.
chest. Oh my God, I love that thing.
Do
Do you
still have
remember
it?
those,
Warrior.
Eric?
Shogun Warrior.
Shogun Warrior,
Yeah.
baby.
They were
I
made
had
out of
Godzilla.
shampoo bottle plastic.
Yeah, it was. But but oh my God, dude, I love that thing. I was the perfect age for it, and I could not, because I was I was a poor kid, right? And my parents never bought me anything, even like little gotcha. I never got. Only time I got those was my grandmother when I was with her, right? Or a comic book. My parents never bought nothing for me, dude, right? So for me to walk in and to be able to that's a real super cool gift. I mean, that I never forget that, man.
Mhm.
Wait, it must have been half as tall as you were.
Well, I was a pretty tall boy, but
And he had roller skates.
but I mean, for a kid though, that's equivalent of a boy's doll in a way, right?
Yeah,
Those things were amazing.
They were, dude.
Oh
Action
yeah.
figure. Action figure.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just so cool, dude. I that's my favorite. Who's next?
I think it's kind of funny.
Alan's kind of been leading the charge on it. So Alan,
Get him,
you
Alan.
choose.
Get him.
What? It would be Eric, but I think he passed away.
Oh, I'm here. Oh, what?
He's
what-
back.
Oh, he's back. There he is.
His favorite gift was
There he
light.
is.
I'm sorry.
Christmas miracle.
I had Taco Bell for dinner, so I had to make a stop.
Oh my. Oh my.
That's a
What
little
was the
coal
question?
in that stocking, huh? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not the favorite
Yeah,
gift.
I see you're having
but it
another
keeps
colonoscopy, huh?
Oh yeah. My favorite gift,
As a given or received.
received has got to be. I mean, 1979 Christmas, the Millennium Falcon.
Oh yeah. I didn't get one of those.
You know,
Uh,
that kind of your statement kind of just proved to me that probably truly is the best gift, because you recalled it immediately to the year, and then
would you like
Right.
me to tell you why?
absolutely.
Okay, so that was my grandfather got it for me, but that was also the day he died. Was that 1979 Christmas Eve?
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
My
ouch.
brother got the Death Star playset that Christmas. I can tell you what he got too.
He
That
died
is-
from a broken back from carrying
Yeah.
those heavy toys.
That's right. Dude, the
And
Millennium
on top
Falcon was
of it-
awesome, dude.
On top of it, it was my mother's birthday, and it was her dad.
Oh,
Wow.
So
Yeah,
Christmas
Oh,
Eve,
man.
her dad died on her birthday. So it was a
That
great
was
Christmas.
that's
I do
memorable.
recall that
Yeah, it
thing.
is.
Yeah, I
It
remember
is.
that gift very well.
I had a rich neighbor kid, and he always had the best toys, and he was a little jerk. He had the Millennium
Of
Falcon.
course he was. Now I did destroy the Millennium Falcon with smoke bombs.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you still get cherry
Yeah.
bombs these days? Do they allow you to buy them now?
I don't know.
To be
I
fair,
haven't bought
Disney
anything like
killed
that
it
in a
with
long
bombs
time.
too.
Oh, that's
Depends
fair.
on the state. They're like,
Come on.
it's not going to be a, was it M80 or whatever they were called?
Yeah, M80s. They take your hand right off, dude. You gotta be careful.
Yeah, with a quarter stick of dynamite.
Yeah, it is
So-
very
Oh, I
serious.
freaking love
Yeah,
those
oh,
things,
yeah.
dude. Those are awesome. They're so fun though.
You know
I
what I
knew a
liked
guy
about
who
them?
died that way.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hope it
Um,
wasn't me.
No, there was somebody. He was a teacher at my school, and he was trying to dispose of some fireworks, and it totally went sideways, blew off his hand, and he died of blood loss.
Nice.
Holy cow!
It was
I'm
it
missing
was
a lot
not
of,
something that we would have expected to happen.
I thought my story
I'm
was
missing
sad.
a lot of exploding hands.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So maybe there's a good reason not to sell quarters of sticks of dynamite to people.
Oh
Well,
no,
this
no,
wasn't
no.
a-
Nonsense. You
Oh,
gotta
no, they're
weed
fun.
out the
They're
weak.
fun.
You gotta weed out the
Oh
weak.
yeah, we.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can still buy them in
There's
Florida.
Darwin
They're
Awards
great.
all day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was just one of those freak accidents. You know.
Hmm.
I know that we had a kid lose his hand because he got bit by a moccasin.
What?
Oh my
Yeah.
A
gosh.
pair of shoes?
At Christmas?
Yeah. Actually, I think
Mom got
it
me a
was March.
serpent for Christmas.
But, yeah.
Ow!
Not the Christmas moccasin.
I said moccasins, Mom. Oh, the man down at the truck stop said you'd love it.
That is a bummer thing that happened, dude.
This or gremlin.
And he was just cutting firewood. Is how it happened.
So
With,
Like
with
the
So
an
the
same-
M80.
snake
same
jumped
year
out
you
of the
received an-
firewood?
I guess he went to pick up a piece of wood then, and then the snake was.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
snake
and the
had him.
snakes
Yeah.
live in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same year he received a PlayStation 5. It was tragic.
No.
Finally.
That was my controller hand. No.
Christmas is ruined. Well, okay, that's probably a fair statement, but
It is a fair statement. Yeah. Yeah. I know. I think we all had various people had various tragedies. I remember, and this was around Christmas. Actually, I don't. It wasn't Christmas itself, but it was very near. We had a girl, and she was like a junior or senior. She was older than me. I didn't really know her at all. But she was quite popular girl, I guess. But she was coming out of her house and she just wasn't paying attention. She was driving a car, of course, and she just wasn't paying attention. She pulled out in front of a dump truck.
oh no.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's only 2 times in my life that I see the entire school go to a funeral. That one and a boy who died in a car accident. That one was even worse, which I won't even get into that because that's just that'll ruin your day. But yeah, I'm sure we all have memories like this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My grandpa
What
didn't
about-
die on Christmas, but he died pretty close, and it was his favorite holiday. But every year something would happen to him. Either he would lose a finger
Oh God.
or a heart
Yeah.
attack, something.
They get
So why was it his
stitched back on,
favorite?
though.
Knee surgery.
He kept on, I guess. Sounds like that's. I hope it. I hope he had some good
I
memories. in
wonder
there,
why
too.
if that makes me kind of a Grinch.
Maybe.
Could be.
It's your origin story.
I go-
Yeah.
To me, I think I'm just too lazy to put out Christmas lights. I hate doing that shit.
Oh yeah, I
If
won't do that
you-
either.
Some people really like decorating, and some people find it just kind of burdensome. And if the joy you get from sitting around the pretty lights and having decorations around isn't, more than the effort of putting them up, then I guess it's important to find your own way to celebrate.
I saw I think it's a thing that come with age, but it's like mantle decorating. Like they
Oh,
make
yeah.
all little Christmas cities.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those are nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know my grandparents underneath their tree, they would have this. Of course, they'd have a nativity, but it was built into this little. You remember those old train sets, Eric? The not the big British ones, but the little teeny ones they sold in America. They're real small little electric train sets. And they
The HO scale?
no, they're smaller than HO.
Oh,
Um,
in the scale?
I don't remember, but maybe. But you know how they had like you could literally see in the store you could buy like a post office and a church and a school
Oh,
and
yeah.
houses.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had all that stuff. My grandparents had like an entire freaking set, and the entirety underneath the tree was a little Christmas village, and they had a nativity was built into that. And so that every year it would always be cool to see that little train just going round and round and round.
Were you always like mocking them because they had the timelines all messed up?
I
Like, well, the
probably.
nativity didn't happen in 1933, and that post office was clearly built in the 30s.
You know me so well.
You were so smart.
I was annoying. My nickname was the little professor, and they didn't mean it in a nice way.
Oh, that's a
Had to
shame.
give them those Encyclopedia Britannicas.
They did too.
Like,
I read every
oh
one
my
of those
goodness.
over and over and over again. My grandparents had a complete set of them. Oh my goodness. Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
Nice. So those are your favorite things to do when you're over there, right? Read.
Oh, they had I had some books, but not very many. But my
Oh,
grandparents had a whole bunch of books. I read all kind of stuff. The first
oh,
time I
nice.
ever read uh, um, meditations, Marcus Aurelius's
Mhm.
meditation, I was probably 8.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
A little
know.
bit of light reading.
Yeah.
Like
They just
Matilda.
let you get into anything, huh?
Well, I mean,
Chester's built different, bro.
well, but they were right there to read.
Right. It's a book.
Yeah.
Well, if they didn't want me to read them,
They shouldn't have put him there. Oh, goodness
So,
So that's a
gracious.
good thing. That's a
Yeah, it
good
is a
thing.
good thing.
did they have any like normal books around for kids, like storybooks or anything you enjoyed?
No, they didn't have any kid books. Yeah.
Well, I guess that makes sense.
They had the
It's
Art
like
of War.
No. No, because my mother was the youngest of 13 children, right?
oh, mhm.
And of course, after the war, my grandparents adopted 5 other kids who lost their fathers and their mothers went south, I guess. But anyway,
Mm.
so I had 18, kind of my mother, 18 mothers, aunts, and uncles, right? And
Right.
of course, my mother being the youngest, there were so many other, kids older that were, high school time or early college time reading. Well, they didn't go to college, but, just reading
Right.
stuff. And that's what ended up in there. None of the kids' stuff. So it was all stuff
Mm.
that my aunts and uncles had read. So it was all older stuff, but I loved it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
nice.
So you
farmers'
were set
almanacs
up.
from like the 1800s.
Oh yeah, oh dude, I love those things, dude. When I used to come
Yeah.
home from school, there was an old, I mean, really old library. I don't know, a couple hundred years old. And I would stop in there, and on the top third, fourth floor maybe, there was an entire room that held the entire history of newspapers from that town, right? And you
Wow.
weren't
Oh,
supposed to touch it. But the old
well, how
lady
could you-
said, "Well, no one else goes up there anyway." I was like, "Thank you." So I went up and after school, because homework, who needs that? But
right.
I would sit and read old newspapers like for like hours every day, dude. I loved
Nerd.
it.
We already knew that.
So, what was some of the most interesting stuff you read in them?
UFOs from the 18th century.
Really?
Of
Yeah,
course. Of
yeah,
course.
no. I'm
Mm.
not even kidding. There are so
You're the
many
kid out
reports
of
from the 18th century
Dandadan.
about UFOs. What was that, Amron?
You're the kid out of Dandadan, that new anime. He's like an otaku who's like into UFOs and conspiracies, and he's constantly reading like texts on like magazines about UFOs.
So funny.
Well, it is what it is, right?
Mhm.
There's a
That's
lot of that.
interesting.
But there were other things like, talking about holidays, and of course, speaking of Christmas, they always have in those issues, they would always talk about people in town who have done charitable things this Christmas.
Oh, that
So
made headlines
yeah,
or in
yeah.
the bylines and everything. That's cool.
Well, I mean,
Which is
that newspaper went back to, I think the oldest one they had was like 1698.
gosh.
Whoa. Did you get to see that one, or was it still in one piece?
Oh yeah, no, they were well preserved. No one went up there. That's why
Wow.
the old librarian lady let me go up there, because no one ever touched them. She guess she figured some better have someone looking at them. It's just kind of
right.
wasted. And of course, I wore
Yeah.
little white gloves, and I was very, I took care of it.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you went there reading these really old papers with your samurai doll. Would anyone have guessed at that point you'd end up teaching history in Japan?
Never, never. Yeah. By that time, I had grown out of the samurai doll a little bit.
It's an action
And
figure,
it's an
not a
action
doll.
figure, and it's actually it's a samurai themed mecha. God,
Shogun Warrior.
Amy, get your
Right,
get your
up with
facts
that.
straight, will ya?
Exactly.
goodness gracious.
Get with the program.
As if.
As if, right?
So the scholarly life chose you, Chester.
Yeah, I guess.
Mhm.
I guess it did. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You have been chosen.
I just was a weird kid.
Huh? That's neat. So,
Dude, it's the
did
weird
you
kids that make the world turn.
That's right.
Well,
Grow up to be a weird adult.
we build and manage stuff, I suppose, quietly, and no one pays attention to us. Hmm.
Mhm. Makes the world work out. So, did you get like a lot of encouragement towards these kinds of things, or do people just pretty much leave you alone, like the Romans?
Oh yeah, they just leave me be. Yeah, they learn
As long
very
as you pay
quickly.
your taxes.
Don't start a conversation with them. Yeah,
It's just asking him what he's doing would mean talking to him. Just
yeah.
let him go
Don't do
do
that.
whatever
Yeah,
he wants with the encyclopedias.
Did you know that the library has a newspaper from the 1600s? I read it. I read all the
did.
newspapers.
I did.
There's
Yeah.
Did you know that in November of 1699,
Well,
there was a UFO?
I was just a little kid. I didn't know any better.
right. That's cool though. I mean, how else would you learn unless you went and read a bunch of newspapers and went, "Oh, this is really cool."
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And because of that, in that library, they actually had in that library original copies of many American books, which actually were bought at the time and put in the library. Right, that's why they had them. And this library, the librarians had nothing really to do in a small sleepy town, so they literally took care of the books. Right, so it was
Oh,
well
goodness.
maintained. I hope it's still there. It was such an old, beautiful building. But I have actually read an original copy of Clement Brown's The Night Before Christmas. Twas the Night before Christmas.
My gosh, seriously.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Wow.
the
They
original,
let
an
you.
Elmer
original
Fudd,
copy,
night
an
before
original copy.
Christmas.
Thank you.
That's actually cool.
That is
That
cool.
is.
That is pretty cool. Yeah,
They
I
have
have
little
a.
white gloves on to read?
Of course, yes. I follow rules. Anyway,
Of course.
because that's how you get to do stuff when you follow the rules. I actually have. It's not anywhere near original. I have one from the '90s, I think. A Night Before Christmas. And but it's like a hardbound, beautifully illustrated gold, uh, 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 gold beaded. It's just a gorgeous rendition of it. And I read that every year for the kids at school. So.
Aw, that's cool. And hopefully nobody's decided they're gonna try and abridge or censor it, so that's good.
Oh, they will. I'm sure they already have.
Nobody even knows what a thistle is.
Yeah, the funny thing was, of course, I could do it myself now, but I bought that book for my kids before I even left America. And coming over to Japan, I was still learning the language, and who can tell you the word for thistle for Japanese? I mean, come on.
Right.
And
Goodness.
but therefore my wife would translate as I read in English, and of course that was kind of good because I could be very theatrical about my thing, and then they're
Oh.
getting the Japanese meaning on the back end. But
Mm.
it actually took a while of sitting down with my wife to translate what that book meant because she didn't understand the words.
Really?
Yeah, because
I guess it is
and
more
then I had to sit down and think about, well, what does that mean? Right?
Mhm.
And then try to work it out. But we're a good tag team on that now. I still
Dang,
do it
that's
that
like
way.
your favorite thing, Chester. So that must have been awesome.
It was great. It was great. But yeah, we still tag team it like that. Even though I can translate myself now, I just like it because with me just being theatrical and telling the story in a fun, emotional way, I think it's the kids just love it, right?
Well,
The faces light
it's
up.
kind of cool. It's kind of cool that you get to do it in its original language too, right?
Yeah,
True.
yeah, that's true.
This is how the poem sounds, and this is what it means. Do you try
It's
to
only
like
timber if you
translate it
are.
into verse,
What was that?
or do you try to translate it into verse so it has similar beats to the original one, or do you mostly go with a literal translation?
Mainly what's happening is I'm reading it in a very of course, musical way as it should be read. But my wife is just simply translating quietly after me, right?
Okay. Very cool.
Do you
Thank you.
wife, be more theatrical?
No,
Wife, do you hear me?
she doesn't have to be. But
Sorry.
yeah,
You're
no,
ruining it for the children.
she knows
They
she
get
knows right well how to deal with me, better than you guys do.
that's awesome.
We're doing our best, Chester.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll send my wife in here and give you tips.
On how to be theatrical?
Yeah.
Like I think this was C.S. Lewis when he went to be a teacher at Oxford. He was told never to trust a philologist.
Yes,
And
well,
look who was his best friend.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Never
won.
trust
We
me.
won in the end. We always win.
Like Zod. He always wins. What's everyone's opinions on the not Star Wars, but the Superman trailer?
Oh, I
It's
haven't
pretty.
watched it yet.
Dude,
I
it
haven't
looks
watched
so
it yet.
bad. It looks so bad. I was like, I really
Great.
want that movie to
It
be
looks like
good,
something out of
man.
CW. I want, yeah, I'm the same. I want it
Yeah,
to be good, but
it-
it just
it-
looks like something out of the CW.
yeah.
It's in color and it has crypto, so win-win.
Someone
Yeah.
did, someone did
I
a
mean,
funny picture like,
want it to
what
be
if
good.
Crypto was a cat? And it's like he's a skeleton. It's like the last shot of
Yeah,
him
that
is
was great
dead.
because it's true.
He's going instead of whistling, and the cat's just
The
sitting
cat's
there
letting him,
looking
yeah.
at him.
The cat would
Yeah.
just walk away like, "Oh, excuse me, let me step over you here."
Yeah, they say if you're abandoned in a house, if you die in a house by yourself and all you have is like a cat or a dog, the cat would eat you right away.
Oh, the cat goes straight for the face. Yep, straight for the soft
No
tissues.
matter how long you've had that pet.
Mm-hmm. Well, cats tend to panic especially if you're where their food is coming from. So they'll eat all of the food in the house that they can find, and then they'll turn on you instantly.
Yeah, you're still where the food is coming from. You just are the food.
Mm-hmm.
It's
They're like,
literally
well,
coming
that's
from
fine. So, but they will
It's starting to
gorge on like
smell. Get
bags
rid
of
of him.
food. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, they're
he'll
trying
just
to
eat
help
some.
out.
He'll just eat some ginger afterwards.
That'll do it.
And
Let me
that is
see.
called a callback.
Good job, by the way. Good job. Let's see here. Do I have everybody? I got Amaran. Yes. I have Andrew. Yes. I have Amy. I have Eric, spelled with a K. Yep. I have Elrod. Yes, I do. I have Elrod. I have Gabby. I do. I have Melissa. And I have Alan. So I got everybody.
Amazing.
It's your day.
I did it correctly. Okay.
Did you do it funny though? Did you do it funny?
Oh, probably not.
Oh, you did
You
good, I'm
know,
sure.
kids who go to libraries and read are, not really very
Hilarious.
funny. Let's see. What should I
Stomach
title
pump.
this? I know what I'm going to call this. Who won Christmas? There we go.
One Christmas.
We did.
Christmas better than
All
chicken
world.
pop.
All right. So now you got to work for me. Are you going to work for me now?
Thinking about it.
It did. All right. Good. All right. So stop.
Oh,
no!
stop! I'm
Stop
not
it.
even-
Boo!
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to drop the poll. Or should I should look at the art for no, I'll just drop the poll. I'll be
I'm just
indifferent
gonna
like
keep
Jeff.
drawing. I'm not. Just gonna keep. Going.
Yeah, you go right ahead. It's not like it's the law or nothing. Okay. Anyway, alrighty. So let me go over here and take a look at our art. And of course, I'm going to have to vote myself after, which I'll get to. But let's take a look here. So first, let's start out with Andrew. No,
Cool.
Armoron. Now, Armoron
Oh,
has got. He definitely has shrimps, and they are on a Barbies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks like a Weber kettle grill. Those are nice.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah,
Classic original.
yeah, Webers are good, dude.
It's a bit
Now,
beat up though, but yeah.
now, where is Weber from? Is that an American product or a British product? I wonder. I mean, everybody's got them.
Weber's.
It wouldn't be British.
I
They
just
can't
saw.
even cook.
Australian. It is Australian.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe,
I don't care if I'm wrong.
maybe. I'm not sure exactly whose it is. Of course, it's a very German name. But I'm not sure what country it comes from. But everybody had Webers, man. Webers are badass. You do
I
everything
just
in
saw a thing on the coal Kingsford on how they started,
them. Oh,
and
interesting.
I believe Weber was what they were
the
using back
time.
in the 30s. It could be American.
It might be. I mean, it's very old. I know that. But they are awesome. But here we have an Australian Christmas. They're doing some
Yeah.
barbecue. You have a jacked out Australian man, as they all are. Every single man in Australia it looks like
Yep.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. And you got the babelicious babe of all Christmas time elves. And of course, all women in Australia are babelicious, just so you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. That's a Australian
Is
Christmas. Good job, Amber.
is that a
Awesome.
self-portrait, Armoron?
I think it
No.
is. I think it is.
No,
Which
it's not.
one?
I think that.
Look
Yeah.
nothing like yeah, the one on the left.
Do all Australian girls look so good?
Armoron has such a nice
Yeah.
tan.
I love
Yeah, I'm being
Yeah.
sarcastic because I've actually met Australian girls before.
There's
Many.
a pool. That's
Many.
cool. I like
Yeah.
and the
uh,
city's
Many times.
really
Pool,
too.
Yeah,
pool
there
in the
is a pool.
back.
There is
Yeah.
a pool.
Poolside Barbie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pool
poolside.
party. We have pool parties for
You
Christmas.
have pool
Yeah.
Barbies.
That's the thing.
Huh?
Which is such a bizarre concept, but so cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, why
Not
not?
exactly
Yeah.
fried chicken, but oh well.
No,
It-
I know. I often think about that. Actually,
I made sure it's fenced in as well. I got the fencing, because
Yeah.
it's
Got to
against
keep
the
out
law.
the
Hey.
You have to have
wombats.
a
Yeah,
pool.
that's
Yeah,
true.
no. Stop the kids from inexplicably falling in and drowning.
Oh, fair. Yeah. You know what?
Little kids are prone to jumping in the pool and then just drowning.
They are. But
Yeah.
you
It's
gotta
true.
thin out the herd. You gotta thin it out. Gotta thin it out.
It takes 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Or less. I have when my son was, literally couldn't even really sit up very well on his own. Um, I was giving him a bath. My wife was busy cooking or doing something, so I give him a bath. And I got him in a very shallow water, right? Of course, in the bathtub, super shallow. And my wife said something. I turned my head, answered, turned back. What is that? A second?
Mhm.
And he somehow is not only fallen over, but rolled face down in the shallow water. It's like an inch and a half of
Oh.
water.
Oh my god.
I was
That's
like,
what
you
kids
are a
do.
genius. And I contemplated how long I should leave him there.
just out of curiosity,
wait.
like,
For your
like,
wife.
well, I
And the
heard
blood
I heard I have 2 minutes. I hear I have 2 minutes.
I was like, how did you do that? But kids, I
I
did
once read a
do.
newspaper from 1916 that said a kid could live for 3 hours underwater. So let's find out.
Let's find out, yeah. But that was just
Remember?
unbelievable. I did an incredibly stupid thing once, and I definitely own it. My wife still tells the story to this day. My son wasn't very whiny, right? When he was a
Okay.
kid. Later, if he couldn't see mom, he cried, up to the age of like 8, right? 7, 8.
Mhm.
My daughter got, she was very whiny when she was little baby, but after that, she got quieter. However,
Mm.
I had this genius idea. Genius, I tell you. That because I kept putting the pacifier in her mouth, right? And she kept
Oh.
spitting it out and continuing crying. I put the pacifier back in, she spit it out, keep crying. But as long as it was in her mouth, she wasn't crying. So I had this idea. Well, if we can keep the
No,
pacifier
please
around.
don't. No.
So what I
Don't-
did was I put
No.
because they have little holes on the side, and I put rubber bands on it, and I rubber
Oh,
banded to her
God.
head, and it worked. I was like, "Yay, success!" My wife walks in 5 minutes later, looks at me sideways, takes it off, and then looks at me even sterner because she had red mark all the way around the back of her head.
Oh.
Well,
You
you
know,
gagged your child.
baby skin,
Put a gag
right?
ball
Very
in your
soft.
baby.
Baby skins are very soft, just so you know. Yeah.
Poor little
Yeah, you just
thing.
look at a baby
And
wrong
it,
and their face
long
turns
story
all
short, his
patchy and
daughter has a
red.
permanent smile now.
Yeah.
Like the
But
Joker.
hey,
Oh,
you know,
I got these scars.
Yeah, I got these
Yeah, you
scars.
want? I got these.
Yeah, I got these scars. My father tied a pacifier to my face.
but dude, it was a good plan. I just didn't execute it correctly.
So next time, I guess, like, I don't know, that stuff that they use for theatrical makeup.
Oh, no.
It's a very
Spirit
it's a very Tim Taylor thing to do.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
used like a Velcro strap.
Yeah, right. But the thing is, I learned from my mistakes. You see.
That's good.
Anyway,
That's all we have to, right?
So the next kid, he used
next time it was
duct
hot glue.
yeah, that's right. Hot glue.
No,
Yeah.
that's worse.
That's like
That's
one
so
of the
much-
only mistakes I made with child rearing, though. Was that though?
What's that one?
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I actually read a bunch of books on,
Mhm.
and particularly
What? That's
Dr. Spock's book on child rearing. And it wasn't very useful.
children are illogical.
Yeah.
If he wears a red
Exactly.
shirt, let him die.
That's true. That's true. I
If
knew.
I
See,
read it.
set it up, let it roll, Eric. That's how you do. Anyway, if you
Yep.
guys like what Amron has done in his Australian summer Christmas, which I do love, then vote for him, straw poll. It's awesome, dude. Let's move along here. Now, Andrew Andrew's got Christmas cheer, so I'm all for Andrew today. He's
Cool.
it's very good. This is Mrs. Claus.
This is one of my characters. This is
No,
Kindle.
I was making a
Yeah.
word joke.
I
That's so
I understood. That's why I just
Aw.
just throwing it out there. You know.
And she's smart. She just keeps the mistletoe in her mouth at all times. That's how you do that. That is how you
I'm
do
That's
glad
that.
you
poisonous.
recognize it as mistletoe. That makes me even happier.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Jeez.
now I'm assuming I don't know about the younger people here, but mistletoe was a thing, and I've been kissed under the mistletoe many a time.
Mistletoe is also poisonous.
Now, don't tell anybody those things. You're not supposed to eat the mistletoe. You're supposed to stand
Don't do that.
underneath it and be kissed.
Nah,
It's
not since
dangerous to
COVID.
gather. It goes to the
Mm-mm.
top of trees.
Yeah, that's true. But it is a thing, and we'd always gather it. Of course, the problem is now that I'm an adult and I'm thinking back to all the mistletoe kisses I got, they were all from cousins. Damn it!
Famous cousins? Ooh.
But did they kiss you on the
Allowed.
lips?
Oh, it's like on the cheek. Just a cute little.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
The silence is deafening.
Yeah. But anyway, the silence is deafening. But actually, girls are weird. A lot of girls, and especially cousins, do like to practice their kissing on their cousins. It's a thing. It's real. It is.
Mhm.
Anyway, this is really
Must be
good,
the ugly
Andrew.
cousin.
I must have been, yeah. I must have been the ugly cousin, yeah. But I like it. It's sport. It's sporty sexy.
The royal family.
Yeah. It's I go for the cute factor.
Yeah.
Cute stuff.
I like sporty
Adorable.
girls myself. But very good. If you guys like what Amron has done and his naughty little Santa Mrs. Claus, then
Did I draw this?
do vote away.
You just
Vote
said
away.
You did
not
say
mine.
Amron twice, but that's okay.
Andrew, Amron, Andrew.
There you go.
I never
did I
make
just travel
mistakes. Look
back in
away, chat.
time?
Look away.
Is there a glitch in the Matrix?
What's a naughty?
Don't look at me.
Chester's been an AI the whole time.
I have been.
What?
Yeah.
This
But
is
all
a-
right. Next we have. Well, Amy's just cheating again.
Oh, what did Amy do?
No.
Well, Mother
she drew some
Mary and
baby.
the baby Jeebus.
Baby Jesus.
Yeah.
That was
Not much to say. Looks pretty good.
Thank you. I like how the halo came out. I thought that was nice. And I was going to do more colors, but after I did this, I'm kind of like, well, timer, of course, so you're supposed to stop. But I'm like, I kind of like the way this is, which is the really minimal pastel palette and the thin lines, and just the
Labor must
circle.
have
I mean,
been
I might
terrible with him wearing that hat.
Yeah, I know, right? That would have been hard. That halo comes out rough, dude. But the funny thing is,
That's right.
correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not know that we have an actual period correct description of Mary. We do have a description of Yeshua whilst he was doing his evangelistic things. The best one, in my opinion, is from Pontius Pilate himself.
Correct. Yeah, right.
But it's interesting to think because he does describe Yeshua very clearly. He's very tall, blonde, blue-eyed, light-skinned guy. So I'm kind of thinking Mary must have been similar, right?
Probably. I wasn't sure where to go with her eyes, so I just kind of went with kind of a smoky gray.
Sure, why not?
I wanted them to look kind of bright
Yeah.
and just have kind of a sort of a thin washed out palette with a really thin line.
Does anyone
um,
know of an actual description of Mary? We have a
No.
description of Mary Magdalene in the Gnostics, in the
No,
Nag Hammadi scrolls.
just get like her age and stuff like that.
I don't know. Well,
mhm.
we don't have anything of
Or that
her.
girl had ass.
Mary
my
Magdalene?
God.
No, she was actually yeah. It's the Council of Nicaea that made her a prostitute. She was never mentioned
Well,
to be a
yeah,
prostitute.
So was
anything
she
back then made you a prostitute. So that's why I always gave that line a grain of salt. It's like, oh, what does she do? Like walk outside her like a man's
Mhm.
field of view or something? Like,
I
you
don't
know what I
know,
mean?
but Yeshua said that she was his most trusted confidant. That's what he said.
Oh.
And of course, in the Gnostics, they're married. So,
Yeah.
but nevertheless, this is great. And if you guys like what Amy's done, please vote for her straw poll. Very simple, clean, good. I like the baby. That's a good baby.
I like the baby's
Good.
eyelashes.
Actually,
They're
yeah,
very,
he's
it's a good
very
baby.
beautiful.
It is a good
It
baby.
needs a
It's
rubber band
actually a
around
very
its
good
head.
It does.
baby.
There is
Where's the
there
rubber
is an
band?
invention there somewhere, Eric.
Leave the child alone.
Anyway, moving on here, we got Eric. Merry Christmas, mind friend. A little bit to Red Baron, to fighter of the Red Baron. Merry Christmas from Snoopy and the Woodstock. Very, very nice. And I told you this song from this I play on saxophone is really nice.
I love that song.
It is
Yeah,
so
it's one of my
beautiful,
favorites.
dude.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Look at his little hat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I agree.
I actually appreciate the squiggle smoke, which is very Charles Schultz accurate. So.
Yeah, isn't it? I've been practicing that because I wanted to draw this, and I thought that's so cool how he did that.
That's
And
funny.
I actually had an original drawing from Charles Schultz when I was a kid, and I don't know whatever happened to it. It was Snoopy on his house. Yeah, well,
Oh
we
my
had to
God.
write two famous people we admired in school. I was like second grade or something, and Charles Schultz wrote me back and sent me a drawing.
Oh,
Now,
that's
Holy
too
cow.
cool, dude.
and,
That is
and
too
it
cool.
disappeared because I was a kid, so I don't know what happened to it. But the
that's-
second person didn't write me back at all.
But
So
that
you
is
never
cool.
did.
Cosby.
You totally forgot who they were.
Just so you know,
That was Bill
according
Cosby.
Bill Cosby. Oh wow. Just so you know, according to the Mandela effect, it's technically pronounced Charles Schulz.
Ah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, even though every single American I've ever met calls him Schultz, so I don't know.
yeah.
But that could be coming from a certain Hogan's
Hogan's
Heroes.
Heroes?
It may be.
Yeah.
It was a great show.
Schultz!
Schultz,
I know
you
nothing.
don't cough.
Oh, nothing.
But if you guys like
So
what Eric has
No,
done, this is very
nothing.
classic American Christmas here. Go ahead and vote for him in the straw poll. Let's
Very
move
good,
on
very
to
good.
Elrod and see what he's done. He's done much more of an Odin-esque Santa. Very nice. Go ahead, Elrod. No, maybe
No,
he
doesn't want to
left.
talk to you.
He's left his
Maybe he had
desk.
Taco Bell for dinner, too.
Oh, what a cool Santa.
It is cool. Yeah, it is
And
cool.
like that he's got hollow hands. Yeah.
Although
It's
technically
nice.
Odin carries a spear, but that's all right.
Yeah, but Santa carries it looks like it I think it's an axe in this one.
It looks like it. Yeah, it is an axe. Yeah.
Probably because he's got to bring Christmas trees once in a while with all of
Father
his presents.
Winter. Yeah.
Down.
Well, an interesting little thing while I wait for Elrod to work it out is the history of the Christmas stocking and where it comes from is pretty cool. Um, with the Scandinavians, of course, they had the Christmas tree, which they put all the gifts to Odin to ask for his blessing, right? And of course, they expected Odin to come and visit their village or their town. And of course, in the dead of the night. And now, Odin had a very special horse. His horse's name was Sleipnir. Sleipnir is actually I know this is going to be weird, but it's actually Loki's kid, which he birthed. That's a long story. We'll get into that. But nevertheless, but this Sleipnir is Odin's horse. Now, Sleipnir is very special. He had 8 legs, kind of like tiny reindeer. And he could jump over any mountain. No mountain was too high for him to bound. But when the little kids in the Scandinavian towns, what they would do is in their little shoes, they would leave snacks for Sleipnir, like a carrot or something for Sleipnir. And if Odin was pleased with their gift, he would leave a little golden coin. So here you see the creation of the 8 tiny reindeer. You also see the creation of the stocking, and you also see the creation of the Christmas gold chocolate coins. Isn't that interesting?
It is. This is a really cool Santa, though. I
It
mean,
is cool Santa. It is cool
that is
Santa.
so cool with
Yeah.
armor and everything.
I don't know what happened to Elrod, but it is great. So if you like what Elrod has done, please vote for the straw poll. Moving on, next we have Gabby. Hi, Gabby. This is very, very Dickens.
Hello. Huh?
Oh, that's
What?
lovely.
That is awesome. I can't wait to see that
Oh, thank
colored.
you.
But
So,
that is great. The spirit of Christmas past. Yeah.
well, it's actually a Treebeard.
Oh, Treebeard. Oh, okay. I felt like it was
yeah, sorry, I
Dickens.
didn't get to his face because
Cool.
but anyway, the idea is that it's Treebeard and it's the 4 hobbits hanging out,
Oh,
decorating him with little tree decorations because he's a twee.
Very
Yeah.
And I
nice.
didn't think it
So
was
cute.
appropriate to put mistletoe on him because
I'm back.
mistletoe is a parasite.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I guess they would have probably killed it first.
Yeah, maybe.
But
Maybe.
the little
Yeah.
cones and everything. Oh my gosh, you're going to post a bigger picture of this, right, Gabby? It's so cute.
I will try. I am so busy right now. It's not
Oh
even
no,
funny.
I'm so sorry. Well, I
It's
appreciate
okay.
you. This is just gorgeous, though.
Look at that.
Well,
That.
the mistletoe is a thing in European culture for a very long time because the fairy or the shay, the fairies, of olden time. Of course, these days it's all Disney fairies and Tinkerbell and stuff like that. Who's technically a pixie, I guess. But
RuPaul.
RuPaul.
Oh
But
my gosh.
traditionally, the Shay are dangerous things, right? And of course, you've all heard of cold iron is one way to deal with fairies. But mistletoe, weapons that are garland in mistletoe also damage the fairies. And this is why mistletoe is always kept in people's houses. Because it's
that's
like
right.
garlic for the vampire, right?
Okay.
Yeah. That's what
It's
that's
what they
why
used to
it's
kill Balder.
yeah, well then and of course because he's a Shay and Loki knows this and he tricked the blind guy into doing that. But yeah, so mistletoe is an important part of European culture and it just made its way into Christmas is all. Anyway, this is great. I can't wait to see it colored. It's gonna be awesome. Those
Sorry,
hobbits.
it's so blurry.
No, I can see it very clearly. It's very nice. The hobbits are great.
Yeah, it's cute.
Particularly the little one down here on the bottom. That's perfect, man.
Oh yeah, that's Frodo.
That's Frodo.
Oh,
Aw. Which one is the idiot?
This one.
Oh yeah, there he is. Very good. Very good.
If you're looking to
Thank
own
you.
this one, no, this is adorable.
It is very,
Think
very,
about-
very nice. Actually, this is
Very
like
cute.
this. You could put this on a card.
Ooh, or a
Oh
t-shirt.
yeah, I
That could
could.
easily be like a Hallmark Christmas card,
Ooh.
very easily. Yeah.
Dig.
Anyway, if you like what Gabby has done, please vote for the straw poll. Very nice. And I have dropped the straw poll. It is right there, so you can grab it. Let's go see what.
Remember?
Dude, I'm on it. I'm professional.
He's ready for Christmas.
I'm
and
ready,
vacation.
baby. I'm gonna have me a no. I want snow for Christmas, but where am I going? Yeah, perfect. Anyway, honey, what do we got here?
It's
That's so cute.
one pair doing
Where
a
is it?
Christmas concert, sold out.
I want
Oh
to see.
no, it's not. Oh, rats.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh
Is that me doing a Christmas concert?
Yes,
Very
it
nice.
is.
I love that.
That's so cute.
at that.
That is-
Yes. Yes. I'm not that round about the middle though, but that's okay.
Yeah, you had to put a pillow under her, correct?
It's okay. And
Otherwise-
I'm a koala bear, which is nice. But yeah, no, it's great. It's great, and I've done many, many, many Christmas concerts in my life.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well, you know, doing rock and roll and blues is more fun for me, for sure. But I'll tell you what, you know, some of those Christmas songs are really beautiful, and I do enjoy having beautiful tone on the saxophone. I do really like it. So I like, you know, I
nice.
like to, you know, I did a concert here once, geez, 20 years ago, and it was with he's basically the Japanese John Denver.
Oh,
Yeah. And that was actually really cool because uh, a lot of musicians don't impress me, right? Not, and I don't mean that they're saying, "Oh, they suck." I'm not. It's not like that. I mean that it's just it's normal for me, right? Like, "Oh, that's good. You did a good job." But occasionally, I run into people that's like, "Whoa, dude,"
oh.
right?
What was that? That was
That
amazing.
no, that guy was badass, man. They
Nice.
really, really good. But he's very, very John Denver-esque, but he was amazing.
Maybe is he a better John Denver than John Denver?
No, John Denver is the man. But no, he was really good. My band opened for him and his band. But he was amazing. He was really, really good. Yeah.
Ooh.
I also met and played with John Mayer at
Global pilot.
a festival up in Fukuoka a long time ago, and I actually sat and chatted with him for quite a bit. He was a nice guy. That guy, you know, I've heard his music and I was like, that's pretty good. You know, whatever. I didn't really think much about it. He's very talented. John Mayer
Yeah.
is really, really talented. I love his song Gravity. I do that in my band.
I've heard many times that
Wow.
what he does publicly is to make money, but that he has a whole set of other talents that make him really
I don't
really
know.
cool.
From
I just heard his music. It was at a festival. But yeah, he's a really good guitar player. He's a master musician. He's a real deal.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That
yeah,
master musician.
he is. Yeah. Red Hot Chili Peppers, not so much.
Yeah.
Shots
They're
fired.
just gonna sing about California again.
Well, dude. However, that one song, I can't remember. I don't the lead singer's name, but the guy who wrote
Anthony
that,
Kiedis.
yeah, Anthony Kiedis, Under the Bridge. That's a legitimate badass song. That is legit.
That's their
Uh,
best song.
Yeah,
I think.
but the story behind it makes it even better. I mean that's in a way that song saved his life, right? And
Yeah.
but that is such a good song by them. But anyway, this is great. If you like what Honey has done, please vote for her in the straw poll. Very, very nice. Last but
Cool.
not least, we have Alan, and Alan just cheated all day
Well,
long.
that's what Allens do.
Wow.
Oh,
Look at that.
Well, I think we know who's going to win today.
Am I back or am I still muted?
Oh, you're
You're
back.
back. There you are. We were talking about your
Okay.
Santa. Yeah.
Yeah, Discord kicked me out.
Oh well, that damn Discord. Alan,
That just did it
This
again.
is really good, dude. That is really
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, you got some
I
holly
love
up
Santa
there.
Claus.
Yeah, no, Santa's awesome, dude. You know, I
I
gotta
see him
say,
anytime I drink
Couches.
some reindeer piss.
mm. You know how last week we were kind of joking about the Justice League Christmas special, which had them all going home for the holidays, right? And we specifically talked about Superman bringing Martian Manhunter back to his house to the Kents, right? And of course Clark said Santa, right? One thing came to my mind after I didn't think about it at the moment. I'm pretty sure there is a comic book or three where Superman meets Santa Claus and saves
course.
Christmas. I'm pretty sure. So
Oh yeah.
Well, they're
technically,
neighbors, right?
yeah, well, technically that's right. But technically, when him saying from Santa, he might well mean it.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Did
Santa?
is
Well, they're
is
neighbors.
Santa really a Kryptonian?
Maybe he might well be. Well, that's one of the few things
They're
I
just
liked
neighbors. They're
about.
good neighbors.
They're good neighbors, yeah. But that's one of the few things I liked about Man of Steel was them hinting that
Yeah.
early Kryptonians, the Earth, are what created the Olympians and the Amazonians and things like that. I love that little hook. And then I saw the James Gunn Superman trailer and I was disappointed,
Right.
incredibly
But
Yeah,
that is
but
so.
Man of Steel, they had kids, so that was kind of disappointing.
Well, I really would love a good Superman movie. But oh, it
now
looks so bad.
Probably get one.
I love
I
anything.
didn't think it looked that bad. He had
You know,
trunks.
I
Look
like
great.
That's
I like what
good.
he's going for. I like that, the color and the
And it's
Yeah,
hopefulness that
a
yeah.
it's
teaser.
got.
It's not even a trailer.
I do like that, but I know what Chester's talking about. It looks like it's a credit card commercial.
It does,
Yeah.
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 Well, it's
And
the saturated colors, like a comic book.
yeah,
Not just like the
Commercials have.
camera angles too, the direction. It just looks
it
very
looks
like
weird.
uninspired.
Well,
Nathan
yeah, it's
Fillion's
like
I
Guy
don't know. I
Gardner
can't see
looked
much
bad,
yet.
dude.
It's only a
He looked
teaser.
really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Guy Gardner
and the
looks
lighting.
It's
horrible.
not.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not even a trailer.
The
And
lighting, it's not just this movie. I noticed that a lot of movies have very flat lighting now. And it's like
Mhm.
getting extremely noticeable, and I think it's because they film shots with multiple cameras, and so you don't have to do like the intentional lighting from one angle.
yeah,
And so
digital stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know. There was a lot of
It's
little
also
things
because
that I didn't
they
like.
shoot digital. And it
Um,
flattens things out.
I have no
Mhm.
idea who the girl is that's playing Lois Lane. I have no idea. I just don't like her face. I
Poor
just don't
girl.
like her. I don't know what it was. I
There's
just
only
didn't
three
like her.
actors.
She might do a great job for all I know. But I just didn't like her. Of course, okay, you're giving us Hawk Girl instead of Hawkman, which is fine. Hawk Girl's more popular, particularly because of
Yeah.
Young Justice and all those animated stuff that came out in the 90s and the early aughts. So no problem. Hawk Girl's awesome. But once again, they murdered another redhead and made her Latina. Same thing with Guy Gardner. He's a redhead. They made him blonde.
Guy Gardner?
Yeah.
No, he's redheaded.
Yeah, but in the trailer, he's blonde.
No, he had red hair.
They didn't give him the carrot top, bright orange.
Yeah, he had the orange hair.
Did they? I don't know.
The
It
horrible
looks.
bull haircut.
It was such an eyesore to me. I could barely look at it. But yeah, I really was hoping we'd have. I don't know. That doesn't mean the movie won't be good. It just didn't look good.
I
Anyway,
finally figured out that was Metamorpho in the trailer too. And I was like,
yeah,
oh,
they had
the
Mr.
creepy
Terrific
white
in
dude.
there, which is cool. I like Mr. Terrific.
Yeah,
So I mean, it could be great. I just don't like the look
they're
of
going to
it.
be kind of the bad guys, right? Like they're like corporate heroes. It sounds like because he's basing it on Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Is he?
Oh, that's funny.
God.
So you have. That's why they're all wearing the same stuff. They're like corporate superheroes who are, soulless because they're not really helping people; they're helping themselves.
They're gonna diss
And then they
Mr.
have
Terrific
and
like
this
that?
new guy in the blue suit is a actual hero.
I
So
get
it's
it.
like
So
that's the
that's
big conflict.
That's why he's walking down the street and getting coffee cups thrown at him, and he's going into court. Okay, all right.
Mhm.
Alrighty then. Anyway, if you like what Alan's done, vote from the straw poll. Alrighty. Well, that's
Yay.
everybody. I go back over here, Elrod, and since he's back, and I have a lot of those things I have to show from him later. But we saw your Santa.
Yes.
What else would you like to
Yes.
share?
Oh, I updated Merry Christmas.
Oh, very good, very good. We need crumbs, miss.
Nice. There you go. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder. I mean, Arnold's movie was fun, even though it wasn't very Conan at all. But I wonder if we'll ever get an actual Conan movie. Can they even do it though? I don't think they can because they don't seem to understand Conan. Conan, he's not a hero. He Conan takes what Conan wants, right?
People have to forget the last one.
That was bad, dude. That was really bad. But like, there's a
That
really
last one was always going
it was real
to
foul.
inform the new ones, I think.
But there's a scene from the Tower of the Elephant that I think explains Conan very clearly. He walks up and there's this guy, this soldier that's trying to sexually assault. I'll use that word because YouTube doesn't like the other one. A girl. Conan just kills him, summarily as he does. But then he has sex with the girl. Yeah, that's Conan.
As you do.
As you do. Well, that's Conan. He's not a hero. Now, in the end, the author often has him doing what ends up being what's needed. But Conan he takes what he wants, and I think that's the pure machismo of Conan. I think is what made him appealing, because it's the fantasy that can never be true. You cannot go through life without consequences unless you're Conan, right? And I really think that's what made him
He gets
appealing.
consequences too.
Well, he does, but you know what I mean. And I just don't think they'll ever make that movie. Nevertheless, those are great. Thank you very
No,
much.
he has to be two-dimensional in movies.
He does, and I do love Arnold's thing. I do like it. It's a lot of fun. And nevertheless, let me go over here and do my voting now because I have to vote. So, let's see here. Let me do this, and I got to do that. And
Did you
you
skip
guys.
the draw along?
Were we gonna do the draw along at some point, or did we?
Oh, right. No, I forgot. Okay, here we go. Let me go do that.
A good one.
Okay.
There's lots of them.
There's lots of them. Yeah. So let me see here. Draw along. Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I'll show Elrod's stuff from last week. How about that? Because he did have a whole
Yeah,
bunch
because
of
they
them.
informed this week.
They do
that's
inform
right.
this week. They do. So let me go to the top of it and let me see. God, there's so many. All right, let me start here. All right, so start at the top.
And you're gonna be streaming or sharing this,
I
Justin?
am, but this thing doesn't like me, so I have to go through all this rigmarole, and then when I get it set up, I will do what I'm supposed to do. Here we go. Okay, I paste and I go. Very good. Alrighty, and then I'll come over here and do this. All right, good. I'm getting something done. Very nice. Let's see here. I guess it's
The Giant of the North.
Is it
That
this
would be
one?
the first one.
I got it. Hold on a second. I got to check and see if I got this set up correctly.
It's the penguin with the poster of Santa Claus.
Now, I did have some Santa Christmas type of things. Let me just make sure that this is showing what I want. Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm good. I'm good. Let me go over here and go back to what I was doing. All right. So I do have a nice little Christmas town with some white lights. It's quite nice. Actually, the Japanese love illumination. They do that really well. Ooh, nice Christmas tree, a stocking there in the back. That's kind of nice. It's kind of nice.
Little ornaments are cute with little hats.
They are. They are. My family every year, the family would go out and we'd buy or every person in the family would buy an ornament for the tree. So when I got my original set of ornaments, nearly 30 years ago, I just got the standard kind of boring stuff. But as 20 some years went by, the tree became full. It was pretty neat. Anyway, Santa, he's checking his list and he's checking it twice. That's good. It's
You
good.
got to.
One of those white tree Christmas trees. But here we go.
Not many names on that list. Wow.
The Giant of the North. Target number 1. The Penguins are in action. They're gonna deal with the Fat Man. All right. Fair enough.
They want the North Pole because they're tired of being stuck in the South Pole.
Fair. Nothing. There's no action down there. Yeah. Nothing's going on.
And they will rule the world from pole to pole.
They will. They
There
will.
you go.
Yeah.
And
Let's
they can
see
get the
here, and of course they've gone Mexican on us. No mas. Fair enough.
Hamas!
No mas. No mas.
Probably
Well, they're
tired
from
of
the
all them
South.
Germans down there.
That,
the South
well,
Pole.
you know, they're high down there. And of course here is their their endeavor, their war efforts. Very nice.
Who said penguins couldn't?
Yeah, it's very nice. And of course, and here they are taking the field. Yep. But they run into a little bit of a problem because not only does Elmo have a gun, but you know, Santa's got a sword. So, yeah. Oh
See,
no,
this is a reason why penguins haven't taken the North Pole.
that's right.
Oh, wait.
However, they might have just been successful.
Oh,
Oh no.
To be concluded.
To be concluded.
Next year.
Next year, yes. What is that? The
Concluded.
shattered shards of Nagdrasil. What was it called?
Or
Silidor. What's it called? Anyway,
Don't know.
very
Narsil.
nice. Narsil. There. We were you.
we
I was part right, and you were part right. We should get together on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, would have been
Yeah.
good.
I think you're right.
Narsil. But anyway, we also have a little bit of the old ones, but in the form of Dickens. So you know. What was his name again? I can't remember the old man's warning his partner.
Marley.
Marley, yes, Marley, yes.
Mhm.
Beware. From the Nether, of course. Very nice. Okay. We have a little bit of Christmas past, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Very pretty. Oh, I love that.
yeah.
I made its arms more feminine. Is in the book there he's jacked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Before the show today, I was actually watching my favorite bookbinder, and he had a very old version of Christmas Carol, Dickens, of course, and he was rebinding it quite beautifully, actually.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Small world. Here's the Candle Girl, which is nice.
Oh.
Yeah. The Spirit of Christmas Present. I was wrong earlier. It's not past, it's present. Of course, here we have Father
No,
Christmas
present's
himself.
Brian Blessed.
That's present.
Yeah, that's present is Brian Blessed.
Yeah. I was wrong. I said earlier I got it backwards. Santa Claus is
Oh.
present, not past.
Scrooge is alive?
Oh, that's a good one.
Scrooge is alive.
That's a good one. That's good. But I mean, what a blessing Blessed is, though. I mean, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He is awesome.
Mhm.
We got a little bit of
His
the
parents and what?
future spirit here. Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Wow. I love the distortion. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
It's good. Begging for his life here, of course. Very nice. Very nice. And of course, then the spirit saying, "No, screw you, go to hell." Yeah. Okay. Good.
Chester's
Isn't
name.
so
here.
bad.
Yeah. Ebenezer Scrooge. Very nice.
And then if you go down to the current Santa from tonight,
Yeah. Which I
Eric
will.
might know the reference to the silver axe. Because that's from an L. Frank Baum Santa Claus story.
Oh, I haven't read that.
Yeah,
I've
like
heard about it, but I haven't read it.
elf. Yeah, the old elf guy has a
Yeah.
magical silver axe.
Well, you know
yeah,
where
I've
that.
heard about that a couple times, but I've never read it.
You know, there's a lot of history
Yeah,
to
it's
that
got
silver
crazy
axe.
stuff
You
in it.
know.
It's like full on like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No,
Always-
the
Always like the Narnia Santa. He always looked like he had adventures or something.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
it's more akin to that Santa because there's wars and fighting. And
Well, Jack the Woodcutter or Jack the Giant Slayer, that character shows up in way more stories than you realize, right? And that silver gold axe story is going way back to Egyptian times, where that character comes from. I should do a little like a TFT presentation on that. You guys might like that. It's
Maybe.
quite interesting where Jack the Giant Slayer comes from and how ancient that story is. Yeah.
Hmm.
That might be
Um,
an interesting thing for an episode
yeah, I think
if
so.
he's that
Yeah.
series.
I'll see if I can't remember to put a presentation together on it. But of course, we have Merry Christmas, which is
There
nice.
you go.
Which is nice,
I
and that's
still
a
think Santa will win.
yeah, probably. That is a good old classic, Conan, by the way. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Thanks to
so
AI, it's become the standard, Conan.
well, no, I'm glad because that is classic Conan right there. We have this very different image of him today, but it is good. All right, so let
It's
me
a
go.
good Conan because he has such a terrible haircut.
Yeah, no, it's that haircut, yeah. But you guys go ahead and vote, and I'm going to go ahead here and take a look at the draw longs. Now, Two Banana Mike, not Three Banana Mike, Two Banana Mike, has got himself a little bit of a business deal going on here between Old Santa and Jack Skellington. You said stripes would make me thinner. You look great. That's nice. That's nice.
Mm.
And of course, another one here from Mike. Rudolph coming in to save the day.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, that's pretty good.
that is pretty good. But you know, they were mean to him though. They wouldn't let him play in any reindeer games. Any.
None of them.
Yeah.
Good. He
And
was
most of
different.
them are. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was different. Uh,
Babylon B posted that Rudolph had a sex change and now he's dominating in the girls' reindeer games.
I bet he is. I bet he is. Yeah. That's funny. And of course, we got Jason Gonzalez here, a Thunder Rat, and he's done a Superman Christmas. Nice,
Aw.
very nice, very nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
And he's also
Jason.
given us a little sketch here of Ebenezer Scrooge.
Ooh,
Very
beautiful. I
nice.
love that hand shape.
Yeah.
The face.
Actually, yeah, the face is great too.
Have you
Oh my
guys
gosh.
seen the artwork from the original Dickens work? I mean, the original first edition.
No.
It's
Hmm.
really,
Yeah.
really good. It's better than you think it would be.
I
It's
should check
Uh-huh.
it out.
very interesting, and there's so much detail going in the background about life at that time. It's really neat. You should check it out. The original illustrations for Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
I'm sure we can look up the artist's name, or do they credit
Yeah,
illustrators?
they're really good.
They're really good, yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
have a pretty good illustrator.
yeah, you just check them out. You'll see. And let's see here. I is this for? Yeah, it's for today from Rosa. Rosa sent a draw along as well.
Awesome.
This is her Watcher of the Damned, I guess, on Christmas, getting a kiss from Rose from Mistletoe. Oh,
Ah,
that's nice.
he's got a little mistletoe,
That's
giving your
nice.
hubby a kiss.
Very
You,
nice.
oh, he's got a
Very
boy.
nice.
Yeah,
Alrighty, so let me go over and
Nice
find
rack.
Doug's stuff on the Twitter, and hopefully we'll have some Christmas spirit over here on the Twitters. I hope
I
so.
mean, it has to, right?
No, no, that
No,
uh-oh.
that's not great.
Yeah, that's completely set up, but alrighty, fine. Yeah, that's not nice.
Mhm.
It's funny, this old Korean lady has
Mhm.
been quite popular in Japanese TV for a long time. She's a jazz singer.
Oh,
They tell me she is. What are you doing? Dude, don't
no,
that's how you
no,
don't play with guns.
no.
All
Mm-mm.
right. Yeah, you have about 10 more seconds.
Yeah, you put that out, dude.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not. Christmas spirit. No, poor Chinese
No.
quality craftsmanship. All right. Uh, Girls soccer. Nice.
It's all girls soccer, isn't it?
There you go. You
No.
tell her. You tell her. You tell her. Okay. Let's see here. No, don't play with explosives. It's only for professionals. Um, they're still doing that, huh? Oh, yeah. There's no way that
No,
could be
it's a
real.
Christmas.
Isn't that obvious?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Waiting, 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 waiting. Okay. Nothing. Okay. Boring. Um, This doesn't look good. I'm looking for oh wow, a check ricochet. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Yeah, don't. That's mean. Okay, fine, fine. Hang on, dude. It happened in real life. It's not just a poster.
Oh,
Hang on, dude. Dun dun dun. He doesn't understand what blankets are. Good job. Good job. He would have landed anyway. Don't know what you're worried about. But okay. Oh, it's wonderful.
That's cute.
Yeah, super cute. Yeah. Oh, not cute. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on, where's your Santa spirit?
that's not it.
Aw, that's not it. That one. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, dude, that's failure.
No.
100%. 100% failure. Pure failure.
I guess that's a bit.
Why? That ain't gonna work out for you, buddy. You ain't outrunning the radio, It's quicker than you, and now you're all dead. What are you doing?
Oh,
what'd you
Jeez,
get?
idiots, man.
I
Why
like
aren't
how they
there more
called you
fun
an
stuff?
interrogation.
Where are the fuzzy bears?
You
Yeah,
have a lot of
Christmas
snakes in your
Right.
algorithm.
I don't know why.
because we were talking about how that kid lost his hand, because he got
That's
bit in the
cool.
hand by a mamba.
Oh, dude,
We were talking a
that
lot about the
sucked, man.
government too.
Look at that though. This is cool. This is cool.
Oh, yeah, this is
That
That
is cool.
is
That
that
is
is
really cool. Yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's very Chinese actually is what this is.
Very, but wow, that's
They should be
gorgeous.
wearing black clothing though. That's traditionally, and they also put this veil over their face. The Japanese do it too. That is awesome. That's good. We'll go with that. How about that? That sounds
Yeah,
nice.
that's beautiful.
That sounds nice. All right,
Another
so
Tiger Christmas.
a Tiger Christmas. All right, let me come over here and take a look, see what Doug's going. Oh, look at that. Ellen really did a good job. This is from another day. Yeah. But let me go to latest here. And of course, we have Merry Christmas from Doug. Oh,
Aw.
nice.
Oh,
Uncle Splat.
Uncle Splat got the toys for the kids, for the kiddies. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. But his actual offer is here. So we got, all right, we got, yeah, I don't need that. Go away.
Mhm.
So we got Santa, very traditional. It's very traditional.
Very
It's nice.
cute.
It's nice.
Pulling up a present. Candy cane.
Well, shit.
Maybe we had the vertical stripes on. It
might
would
have helped. The vertical
Yeah.
stripes.
Yeah, the vertical stripes could have been helpful there. They could have
You
been
need some
helpful.
Spanx.
That is such. His music choice is always on, dude.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys hear it?
yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, his music choice is always perfect. It's era correct.
The
Oh,
newborn king, right? So down here.
yeah.
Like he's not depressed about anime, is he? Like no, it's good.
In the dick. It's so catchy, but so wrong at the same time. Jeez, that's mean spirited. Good job, Doug. Good job. That's always awesome. Blue Moon Cartoons, of course. Now I need to go and do what I was going to do earlier, but I forgot. Now I remembered because I was reminded. Yeah. So let me go here and grab this.
Mhm.
Okay. And then come over here and do like that. Alrighty. So let's go ahead here and let's check it out. So, who won Christmas?
Hey.
Well, you do ultimately.
And I did it correctly because this one you have to pull and drag. So I did a good job.
That
Anyway,
was
so
very good.
thank you. I got it. It took me only 3 tries.
And you got
But I do have 8 choices though. So let me go ahead and see here. I got number 1. The Ho 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 Very Betty Buddy Pal Amaron.
it.
I
I don't know why, but my American version of Amaron is a black man from Chicago.
Different kind of energy, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Well,
Ho,
I could go
ho,
with
ho.
him, of course. He did a great little Australian Christmas. It was nice. I
That was
also have
awesome.
Andrew
That is
is Tiny Tim and Rankin Bass Christmas Spectacular, a Muppet Christmas. Yeah,
That's so
You
many
know this?
things.
you got top billing, dude. That's top billing.
That's great.
Tiny Tim
That's right.
is it's better than the other guy who sang the tiptoeing through the tulips. That guy.
Oh, that Tiny Tim.
Tiny
Different
Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Tiptoe through the tulips.
Dude, he made a life off of that, man. Number 3,
It
Amy.
died singing it.
He did. He literally died on stage. Amy
Yeah.
says Fruity Pebbles are the modern sugar plums. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I'm not
sounds
going to
good.
Fruity
argue.
Pebbles are pretty good.
I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
I don't know. Can you make Rice Krispie treats with them? What would that be like?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Oh, they're
ooh.
pretty good.
Ooh, that might be a good combination.
it
And,
is.
and to be fair, Pebbles was the cutest cartoon baby of all time.
She is the
Yes.
cutest little baby. She
Yeah,
is.
she was super cute. Number 4, shh. Eric still believes in Santa.
What do you mean believes? You act like there isn't one.
Oh.
Oh, I
Yeah, did
apologize.
you see all those pictures that Blue Moon drew of him?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
I know. What
that's
am I doing?
Santa.
I'm an idiot. It's okay.
Everyone knows who Santa is.
Number 5, who's been a good girl? Melissa has.
Yay!
That was good. Number 6, Christmas is about tacos, hombre. Get it right.
Christmas tacos.
Who's,
We
who's
all know
that
who the-
for?
I didn't have to
I-
put it in there. Everyone knows it's
I
Alan.
do. Yes, I do enjoy that you didn't put the name, but we know exactly who
Yeah.
that vote is
Yeah.
for.
Thank you. Thank you. I did a good job.
I didn't even look for my name. I was like, oh, there I am. Tacos.
Tacos. Yeah. Tacos, hombre. But anyway, 7. Christmas stockings are a conspiracy. Buyer beware. Now, whose is that though?
Elrod.
Elrod's, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good job. Good job. That's Elrod's, everybody. And of course, last but certainly not least, and I put the name to this one, Gabby's family rendition of Nutcracker Suite is to die for.
There you go.
You
Yes,
have to
somebody
invite me
did
one
actually
year.
die.
I want to see the Nutcracker Suite done by your family. That'd be great.
They're great dancers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do
We
they
like
play-
to think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
Definitely has the whole cast for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, see, I had a daughter, as some of you have, and my daughter at a young age was given a choice. She had to do something athletic, and I gave her a choice. You can either do some manner of karate or you can do ballet. Guess which one she chose?
Karate?
Karate.
No, ballet. And therefore, I had to live through 20 years of frickin' Nutcracker Suite and Swan Lake shit.
This is your fault, Chester. You did this to yourself.
Oh my goodness, dude. It's so, what was worse was the piano recitals because she also took piano. And I had to sit there for hours listening to child after child butcher everything on the piano. I
Did she
just
play the
wanted to
Nutcracker?
walk I just want to walk up the stage, throw them into the crowd somehow and just do it right.
Oh no!
All right.
It's this. It's at least keep your tempo. If you're gonna get the notes wrong anyway,
Right.
keep it in tempo.
I know, it's just unbelievable. Well, first of all, Alan wins, so let's see. I did like Eric's. His was quite nice. Andrew's. I liked Andrew's too, though. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave it like that. Amy's and Melissa's were super cute. Gabby's, Gabby,
Yeah.
Gabby.
All great.
Let's see here. I gotta do like that. And hmm. All right, that's what I'm doing. I did it. It's done. Very good. So did I pass, Andrew? Were they funny enough, or am I just a pale version of Jeff?
You pass.
Okay, thank you.
It's passable, I guess.
Okay, fine. I try to
You
live
did
up
good,
to the
Chester.
Jeff. Anyway, it looks like I voted correctly today.
Yeah, pretty accurate.
Yeah, pretty accurate. Although I had
Very
Gabby
good,
in
very
third.
good.
So I'm gonna vote for Gabby. That is, I can't wait to get that finished. That's gonna be gorgeous. Are you going to do that in
Thank
like
you.
watercolors or something?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is the plan.
I felt it was a watercolor thing. I felt so.
You felt correctly.
I did. But that is a great piece there. It really did. But you
Thank you.
understand why my brain initially went to the kind of old classic Father Christmas, Father Winter, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, that's kind of a little bit of kind of took inspiration that like somewhere between old fashioned Father Christmas and the Green Man.
Yeah. No, that's because the British definitely have that mix of Father Christmas and the Green Man and a lot of stuff. But and it's interesting because that is cross culture, boy, right? Because the Aryans, which became the Germanics and of course the Scandinavians are coming out of that. They're a very different run of white people from the Gallic people, right? The Gallics have been in Europe a lot longer than the Aryans were, right? They are, they're different. They're very, very different. But when they came together, we did see this kind of blending of the two cultures. It's hard to unglue them today. Anyway,
Blending.
yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll just call it here and we'll go talk to the people and be on our way. Thank you very much. Do keep in mind, though, before I do that, I will be back in a month. So January 16th will be our next show. Of course, I'll be back that whole week. I am spending 2 weeks out of the country, and I need, of course, a day each way for travel. Because boy, that's a lot of plane time. But
Yeah.
and then I need like 3 days for recuperation.
Sure. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
But it's gonna be great, right?
I hope so. I hope so. I
You
just,
going to Malta?
I am. I just wanna relax. I haven't been on a
Mm.
vacation in a very long time, so I just want to be quiet and relax. I doubt my wife will let me. You know, but that's okay. We'll see. Maybe I'll get like 2 days, 3 maybe, where I can sit and do nothing. That would be nice.
Hold on, someone voted, and we're all closer in points again.
Uh-oh. Wow.
No, he called it. He called it.
I
Too
called it.
late.
I called
No,
it. It doesn't matter.
I'm screenshotting it since Jeff's not here to do it.
Yeah, you do it. Thank you. But anyway, thank you very, very much, of course, to Elrod, Amy, Melissa, Andrew, Gabby, Amron, and Eric. We appreciate you guys and your great art, and of course, everyone have a great Christmas. But today's winner, and to be fair, I mean, honestly, it is perfect. It's
Oh yeah,
just perfect.
spectacular. Absolutely.
It is. Alan, and of course his very nice Santa Claus. Claps for everybody. Claps.
Clap, 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 clap.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Now I
Very,
get
very
to
good.
We did it.
unwrap that tamale.
Yeah. Yeah. I like tamales. I haven't had one of those in a while.
Oh yeah, those
I
delicious.
usually don't like wet breaded
I love
things,
this one,
but
devil.
tamales work. I don't like stuffing, for instance. I can't stand stuffing.
Ah,
Oh
more
yeah.
for me.
Yeah, wet bread. I don't need me wet bread. But tamales
What
are
about biscuits and gravy?
It depends. It can be good, but I mean, if the gravy is sitting, and I have the biscuits are sitting separate, and I can take these hot biscuits, open them up, watch the butter melt, and giggle like a little girl, and then put the gravy on it. Yeah, I'm good. Especially
There
if
you
there's
go.
big chunks of sausage in the gravy. Hmm.
Yes.
And it's all steamy and hot.
Yeah, it is good.
I'm getting
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah, it is good.
I
But then
know, right?
again, my father's favorite dish I absolutely hate: chicken and dumplings. Ugh.
Oh, I love chicken dumplings.
Yeah.
Like the noodles kind of dumplings or the
No, no,
biscuits
no,
kind of
wet
dumplings?
bread, the wet bread one. Yeah, wet bread.
Um,
And I don't blame my mother. I mean, she's cooked for her husband, as all mothers do. I have no
Right.
problem with that. But I just didn't like it. Christmas tamales, is that a thing?
Christmas to
Yep.
okay, Rosa, do you have a recipe for that?
Do
Because we
I,
might need it.
yeah, we need that. I
Just put some mistletoe in it. Just
mhm.
kidding.
No, don't do that.
No, I mean, Alan,
Oh.
seriously, are Christmas tamales a thing?
Just tamales, period, are just a Christmas food
They are.
for
I didn't
us.
know that. I didn't.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I do like me some tamales, though. They are great. Right?
And I mean, here in LA, there's tons of varieties too. There's every meat you can think of, every kind of cheese you can think of,
Mhm.
and there's even like strawberry tamales if you want something sweet,
No,
or sweet corn tamale.
no.
Ooh.
Which I'm not into the sweet ones. I like the savory, spicy ones, like a chili ancho with some
Oh, yeah.
some melted queso
Why do
inside
people
of
make
it.
tamales with
Right, right,
everything?
right, right. Now I usually put a little bit of Tabasco on my tamales. They're great. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, the only savory food turned into sweet food that I like was from Pizza Hut, actually. But this is decades
You like
ago. Pizza Hut is not what it used to be. But you remember those dessert pizzas they came out with? It was like it was almost like a apple crumble pizza, something
Yes.
like that.
there's some dessert
Domino's
pizzas in
do
there.
things like that.
Yeah. I do
Yeah,
like those.
Yeah.
those were
Yeah, they're
killer, dude. Um, and I had
You know, I
when
have.
I go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have pizzas that they have a sweet red sauce and like a sweet meat, and it's almost like a dessert.
Yeah, yeah, no, those are pretty good. I actually like the pineapple pizzas with the ham. Those are pretty good too.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
But I had a girlfriend when I was in the South, and she worked at Pizza Hut, and I would come in and during lunchtime and get the pizza buffet,
Mhm.
so I could
Oh
chat with
yeah.
her
Um,
from when
oh
she
yeah.
wasn't too busy, and I would mainly eat the dessert pizza only.
Just you were okay with sugar then, I take it. You could just keep eating
Oh,
dessert
at that
pizza and be all
time,
right?
yeah, sure. I was an idiot
Okay.
American. What do I know? But yeah. Anyway, times change. But nevertheless, thank you everybody for coming in. Like I said, have great holidays, everybody. Enjoy your Christmas. Hopefully, you get. I don't know if you guys still give presents. The kids are out of the house. We don't even do presents anymore. Do you guys still do presents?
Yeah, we
Sure.
do
Oh yeah.
we do
Oh
family
yeah.
Yeah.
gift
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Even
I
if
do.
it's a pair of socks.
Sure. Well, usually, I would get my socks and underwear on my birthday
Ooh.
Tandy.
from grandma.
Every year, my grandma used to give me the same cologne that I would just use to kill roaches with because I hate it so bad. But I would get it every year.
You know the funny thing about cologne? My wife went and she bought me, I mean, years ago, this really expensive, like Vulgari, or just this super kind of stupid expensive cologne, right? Because she likes Chanel number 5. That's what she
Hmm.
likes. So I guess what I get her. But the funny thing is, I did use it from time to time on special occasions because she liked the smell of it. But you know what my day-to-day cologne is?
Hmm.
What?
Old
Old
Spice.
Spice?
Ah,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gonna say
Okay.
polo?
No. And Anthony Hopkins
Stetson.
has nothing but disdain for the cologne with a little ship on it. Damn it.
oh.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the smell of cinnamon
Oh,
because
that's a
that's
good
what
It
Old
smell.
smells like
Spice
a
is.
Target.
It's cinnamon.
Is it?
Yeah. Does that make me uncouth? I suppose it does.
I think it makes you old
Cinnamon?
man.
Maybe. I just like my
I
Old
So you
mean,
smell
I
Spice.
like
wear
a hobby shop.
Just like Billy Joel
I
told us.
remember.
I,
I remember we had
I
we
wear
had
Armani black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember we had an aunt from England, and she would complain whenever she come to America. She's like, "Why do you Americans put cinnamon in everything?" I always thought that was kind of funny and strange because
Because
they
cinnamon
were
is
just like
awesome.
mincing peas and stuff.
Good. Yeah, well, you tell your English aunt that they have no business talking about cuisine at all. At
Mm.
all.
You mince potatoes.
Yeah. Um,
Potatoes.
yeah. The best food in England comes from Ireland or Scotland or France. But
Or
anyway,
India.
France.
yeah, right. But nevertheless, thank you guys, and let me go through here and let everybody give you their Christmas greetings, and I guess Eric will namaste us out of here today. So give
Eh?
us a Christmas limerick. You better go look that up, Eric. All right, Amron, what you got?
Hmm?
The girls want to know what Christmas dinner looks like in Australia.
Ham,
Ham, oh,
prawns,
ham's good. Ham, candied ham, or just
Prawns.
ham?
pavlova. We'd have that.
Ooh.
What the hell's that?
Like a
You don't know
meringue.
what pavlova is? Oh my
It's like a
gosh,
meringue.
Chester.
A
A
meringue?
meringue. Yeah, we
Okay.
call them pav.
Well, you got those
Pavlova.
little cookies that are really dry. What are those called?
Anzac biscuits.
No, I think you call them Madeleines or
That-
something like that.
No, this is the only thing I can think of that's like, yeah, Australian biscuits is Anzac biscuits.
Anzac
Digestive?
biscuits. Those are soldier rations, though. But very good.
Well, that's
So
where the name comes from. The Anzacs, the the Anzac
Really?
soldiers. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure it does. But yeah, rations are rations. But ham's good. My mother would always make a candied ham for Christmas. Those are good.
You do
With
the Dr. Pepper ham?
no, my mom is very Martha Stewart or
Ah.
Betty Crocker, but it's good stuff though. But yeah, my mom's stuff was very very classic. My grandmother's was too, but it was like 100 years older, right? And some of that old stuff's pretty good, man. We don't cook it anymore, but some of the old stuff's pretty good. She
That
do
sure would
like
be
this
good.
baked halibut. I don't know what the hell she did with it, but it was weird but good at the same time. I don't know.
Pretty
Anyway,
weird special.
yeah, some weird special.
Alright.
Well, anyway, very good. Merry Christmas,
Ooh.
Amaran.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, all right.
Thanks for sharing what Christmas looks like where you are. I think
Yeah.
that's neat. I had a feeling it might
Yeah.
be like a summer festival.
Pool
That's really
party.
Pool party.
cool. Very cheerful, but still Christmas lights. That's important.
I wouldn't
This is some-
mind actually going swimming on Christmas. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, people go on holiday down, the coast and whatnot.
Oh,
Do
there.
it.
So get eaten by sharks. Christmas tradition in
Yeah,
Australia. Nice.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the
Very
great
good.
whites are on. Yeah,
Yeah.
very active.
Yeah, very active. Awesome. Thank you, Andrew.
Yes. Well, of course, if you want to check out my stuff, you can head to solariansun.com, where I will be posting up to page 322, I think, today. I forget. But it's up in the 300s, and chapter 11 is almost done. However, if you want to join Patreon for free, I have free subscriptions. However, up until Christmas, you can sign up at Solarians or patreon.com/AFLM for 40% off your first month for new members, and get your first month subscription for only $3 instead of $5.
Wow.
So that's patreon.com/AFLM for up to page 814 as of Saturday.
And
So
what did you have for dinner, Andrew?
I had meatloaf for dinner.
Oh,
I did.
Mashed potatoes too.
Again.
No, broccoli and yeah. So.
Yeah.
But
Do you put ketchup on the meatloaf?
Revenge.
a little bit, just a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meatloaf's
kinda
banned
sweeten
in
up
my
a little bit.
house. So
What?
However, most importantly, volume 4 is I have one more page to do in volume 4. So volume 4 will be done by the new year. So I will be kicking off the new year with starting work on volume 5, and then I will begin editing volume 4 so that it's ready for print for the next convention season, which I just signed up for 1, 2, 3 conventions for next year, and then I'm going to be working on number 4 and 5.
Fantastic.
very
Yeah.
good. The future
Very
is
good.
bright.
Very
Very
good.
nice.
It is.
Really good.
And of course, we're counting the days to issue 1000. Just keep that in mind.
That's right, page
Uh,
1000.
Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Issue 1000.
Issue 1000. Yeah. Issue
It's a
Holy
1.
web
moly.
comic, so each page is an issue.
Yeah. Oh, I try to put it at a distance so that the joke has legs. You see.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. You gotta plan ahead. So,
Yeah,
anyway, girls.
Hello.
So I think I found Christmas Pavola, Pavlova. It
Okay.
looks like a fruit custard with
Show.
like a whipped
Well, show me.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
It's a pavlova. It's like it's an
Yeah,
egg,
here's-
beaten egg white, baked, and then you put cream
Oh,
on top
sure.
of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Fruit.
It sounds like a Jungian philosophy to me.
Yes.
Wow.
Just look it
Yes.
up.
I got
you'll
a
see.
Snicker there. Who gave me the Snicker? Who gave me my prop
Me.
my
It
preps?
was
Thank you.
Pavlova.
Thank you.
I furled my eyebrows.
Pavlova.
Audibly.
Harder to
Here,
hear.
these are all better than the pictures that I found. But let me see. I can.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Can I switch? Let's see. That's fine. Then we go
Is
with.
it like a meringue or like a flan?
Meringue.
Oh, here.
Meringue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do these any of these look like it?
You rang.
Meringue.
Is it showing?
Yeah, it's showing.
Okay. So these
Huh.
are little. There's one. I found a recipe, but I mean, people who have had one before will have to
Yeah,
confirm with me.
Hang on.
But it looks like it's a custardy kind of thing.
I don't know.
There is.
I'd try it. Looks like it's something
It's
to
like
try.
No,
a
you don't put-
toasted
you don't put-
meringue. It's twisted.
that's whisked egg
Okay.
whites. Just egg whites whisked up, and then you put it in a pan, bake it, and it goes
Yeah.
crispy like that. Yeah, with
Yeah.
sugar.
Okay.
A lot of sugar. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really.
Well,
Lot of sugar.
Americans usually brown our meringue. Where I found that other people around the world don't.
Yeah, we do. Not
Oh,
much.
you
Only a
do
little
it as
bit.
well. Yeah.
Only
With
a
bow
little.
torch or
bit,
just
you know.
normal oven?
Yeah, only just brown. You finish it. You bake it until it's just brown.
Yeah,
Just
just a golden
starting to
brown.
go
We
brown.
don't
Yeah.
crisp it
We
up.
don't
Yeah.
blacken
No.
it. Yeah. No,
We don't want it burnt.
golden brown is
All
the
right.
word. Yeah. Well,
Not like
That's
a creme brulee.
that's for the bin
This
when
is
it's
the
brown.
first
when it's
picture
black.
I saw.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so great.
Yeah, that's.
very nice.
I'm like,
No, I
oh,
mean it
okay.
might be worth giving it a shot and try it in the old recipe
Yeah.
cook.
This doesn't look quite right.
Yeah.
It's a
You
pink
can even
mound.
buy like the pre-made like meringue, like the base thing, the egg base. You can then buy it pre-baked, and then you just add your own cream.
Pure
fruit, whatever.
sacrilege.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, meringue is pretty tough, I guess, to make, so it might be better.
yeah,
Yeah,
it can be
it's a-
tricky.
Pretty
I love
Well, it's
the
temperamental.
pretty tough to
recipe.
make by hand with a hand beater. I don't know how you did it. I
There you
tried that
go.
once, and oh my god.
Yeah, you want to like
That's
beater.
what mixers are for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought I could do it, and I couldn't.
Yeah, I understand. You got anything to add to that there, Melissa?
Let's see. Well, I'd say I guess I guess I don't know if a lot has changed since last week in the business. But I mean, we have the dialogue playtester's done, and we're working on animation rigs and story for a complete chapter in our
amazing.
games.
Yeah, so this is a great way to, oh man, we get to send out the year with you guys and an art show and the game engine wrapped up. This is just a great way to round out the holiday season. So we're going to miss you all until January, but it's a
I'm going to
great
be spending
thing
that
to do.
spare time learning CS Paint and maybe so I mean I could get out there and get some references. Just kind of step up my art game.
Mm,
You can do it.
Thank you.
You're the thing.
You guys
can.
inspire me, and I feel like I feel like I'm ready to do more advanced animation and try harder to get my drawing skills up faster and stuff. I love doing this, so why not make it work on be all the artist you can,
Yeah,
Nice.
absolutely.
What it's
I
all
just
about.
love
What it's
wish
all about.
everybody Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Rosa and Doug and Thundero. I know you're out there too someplace. And I think we saw Cooling was out there tonight. And of course Alpha. So and if you get to rewatch this, Jeff, I hope you're feeling a lot better. Prayers are with you and well, everyone really. Just thanks for
Yeah.
being such a blessing. And I'll see you next year, okay?
Merry
Bless
Christmas
everyone
to
and Merry
everybody.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, girls, for sure.
Oh,
Elrod, would you like a Merry Christmas or just bah humbug?
A little of both. I have to pee.
All right, fine. Alrighty then. Well, there it is. Merry Christmas to you, Elrod. Very nice. Let's see here. Gabby.
Hola.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás? Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're never serious on this show, as you can probably tell. But yeah, thanks for voting. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Gabrielle Geske, or Instagram's Gabrielle.Geske. Twitter or X is just Gabrielle Geske. Anyway, we'll see you next year.
See you next
Merry
year.
Christmas. Happy New Year's.
Do you have any family plans this year, Gabby?
Oh yeah, all the family's home now. If the mic picked it up, that you probably heard voices in the background.
Oh, nice. That's always good. That's always good.
Yeah.
I actually, it wasn't Christmas related. It was about my father-in-law's 88th birthday, which is a big deal here in Japan. But the entirety of the family came down for a big dinner together. It was nice seeing everyone together because it also had the various kids, like my kids and the other kids, with their significant others, and it was just nice to see the fullness of it, right?
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But anyway, cool. Merry Christmas to you, Gabby.
Merry Christmas, Chester.
Feliz Navidad, Alan. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Please on the dog.
Please on the dog.
He's on a dog.
Poor dog. Anything? What do you got for us? What's your end of year message to the world?
Just a Merry Christmas to everybody. Keep on working. Keep on proving your skills. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Next year, come back stronger. It's gonna be a great year.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the greatest year.
Yeah. Well,
you'll see. He knows. He was there.
Well, for those who like movies and video games, the next year looks way better than this year. I mean, this is a bad year though.
Movies. Yeah, we still have the tail end of some stuff, but yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there's some
better year
good
all
looking
around.
stuff coming out, man. I hope it's going to be a great year for just entertainment. But absolutely, dude. And I now learned I learned something today, which is always good. Christmas tamales are a thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's the joke. It's
Cool.
like, what do Mexicans get on to wrap on Christmas? It's just tamales because we're all broke.
Well,
Well, I don't know if that's true, dude. I watch a lot of what I'm told is boring YouTube stuff, and a lot of Mexicans out there getting it done, dude.
Yeah, no, we get tamales or your bike. So it's good.
Or your bike. That's fair.
Oh,
dang.
That's
Dude.
Fair. That's fair.
Or just the front wheel sometimes.
That's funny.
Playing. I'm just kidding.
Alrighty. Well, awesome. Have yourselves good holidays, guys, and Eric takes out of here, man.
So you wanted a Christmas limerick, is that right?
Yep, I was very specific.
Okay, we'll try to come up with them. First, you guys know I'm old, but my wife isn't quite old, and she has a birthday coming up on the 27th. She will be 50.
Oh,
Happy birthday!
Did you tell her?
Happy birthday yet? No, it's next week.
They don't like that one.
No, she's been waiting for it. So she has convinced all the kids and all the grandkids to get together, go out to dinner, and go see Christmas lights at the brewery here in St. Louis.
Wow.
So pray for us
Nice.
because there's going to be some fighting and yelling because there's 13 grandkids, and you add the 10 parents, and then me and my wife.
Nice.
Oh my goodness.
So we're gonna have to
That's
rent, a bus, and
Dude.
it's gonna be
That's
insane.
Now
Eric,
that's
I
cool
can
though.
totally relate. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm praying for you.
Thanks.
Family photos
Definitely.
every year. Mm.
Oh my god. Yeah. But hey, it's been a great year on the show, and I love doing the show every year with Chester and all you guys. It's a blessing to see everybody's art, and I really enjoy it. Next year we come back on the 16th with Armron's Choice.
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Then we the
that's
next week after that we have I believe Dojo. Was it Dojo Hojo with Mythicals 3? That's one of the independent
Nice.
creators out there. And I think the week after that we might actually do Blue Falcon.
Oh, Blue Falcon, Blue Falcon.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Yep, there you go.
I love Blue Falcon.
And then I'm returning to the show circuit next year, so I might actually even go to a show up in Detroit in October.
Oh, I was hoping you're gonna say Boston.
Oh, Boston,
Not
that would
that
be
far
nice.
yet, but I'm getting
Yeah.
close. I'm getting closer.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe
Well,
you guys can
and of
meet
course,
someone.
I would love to.
Yeah, no, it'd be actually neat to kind of meet everybody. But
Oh yeah.
of course, I asked for a limerick from Eric, and we're going to see his in a minute because for all of those of you who have Irish in you, which is quite a bit, it is quite the Christmas tradition to share limericks with the Irish. It is a
I
thing
should
they
have looked
do.
up Irish Christmas lyric. Damn it.
Well, there's a good one though. I do know. An elf said
Mary
to
Potato.
Yeah. An elf
Sorry, go
said
ahead.
to Santa, "Oh dear, we've not enough presents this year." That made Saint Nick think. Now he'd given up the drink. He could give all the children some beer.
Doesn't really know.
Okay. I might be able to top that one. Are we ready?
We are.
Christmas is a time of giving and receiving without any misgiving. We spread love and mirth all over the earth and celebrate with those we're living.
Oh, that's very nice.
Aww.
Mine was more
it.
humorous.
Yes.
Yours was
Mine
just
more
wholesome.
serious.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
good
that's good.
That's our yin
Because it
and
was-
yang. Chester.
yeah.
It
That's our
is.
yin and
It
yang.
is. I'm the spicy one. Alrighty then. Awesome. Once again, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Later,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
Till next year.
Goodbye.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Oh, I found the mouse skewering. It's making noise. Stop it. Stop it.
I thought they weren't stirring. I thought it was
It's stirring all over my room. Kill it.